of a giant turtle.
Oh, there's a turtle involved, so I'm on board.
There's definitely a turtle involved. But I'm pretty sure that turtle is standing on top of a dinosaur chicken nugget.
What? Don't be ridiculous. It's turtles all the way down.
Turtles all the way down, I always say. You guys remember when the Burger King was here dressed up like some flapper to play Liar's Dice with us?
Oh, he's still here.
Christ.
Really need to figure out from him the fuck is going on Food Island. He should have insider knowledge about Food Island.
He might. Who knows? But first we have to figure out what happens to Nomad. And we're still in the middle of initiative. So let's just pick this shit up right off the bat.
Guys. Do you think everybody on Food Island is actually just a big gang, and the Burger King leads it, and he calls it his food court?
God damn it. Yes.
God.
How did this joke not occur to us sooner?
Damn it.
That is excellent. Wow, I go first.
That is excellent. All right, so just to recap, everybody seems to be kind of like, you know what? We don't want to die here, and he's making a lot of sense. Maybe we should just like let this all go. You know, maybe it's not worth dying for. Nomad, you can tell that the only person that you targeted that wasn't really influenced was Zuku. But for some reason, she kind of seems to be like playing along a little bit. It's hard to tell if she's playing along because she's convinced or if she just doesn't want to fuck with you alone. You do exist, I believe, somewhere. Are your tokens there?
No.
Wait, really?
My token's here.
I see me.
Really? I don't see anyone. It's just a blank map.
You might have to
Do we
refresh.
exist?
I will refresh it.
Yeah, roll 20 is weird sometimes. However,
The same issue.
there is still one thing that is incredibly mad at you, about 25 feet below you, having just been stunned and crashed across this game board, splitting it in half, is this massive SDR Titan, which seems to have wrestled itself free of Mick Eckart's control, and made a beeline straight towards you. But you are first up in the new round. What would you like to do?
Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna drift over here, like 15 feet, and I'm just gonna willingly drop a little. Just
All right.
before I hit the ground and start a slowdown, so I don't take damage. And I'm just gonna, like, excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Go over here. I'm gonna put my hand on the ground and let Nibbler scuttle down my shoulder over to Mick. And when Nibbler's touching him, I'm gonna cast Heal.
Okay.
Or like Cure Wounds.
Excellent. As soon as you do, who are you? And he just like starts
Probably
looking
full
around
HP
wildly.
without a roll, huh?
Yeah, you can roll if you feel like it. He does not have a lot of hit points.
The minimum I could give him is like fucking, I think 7 or something. So that's max
Go ahead and
HP.
roll it then. He's a little over 7. He's got a bit more than 7.
Okay, good. It's just he died in one hit.
No, he's a frail old man,
Yeah.
and apparently not the same kind of frail old man that your Yule is.
Yeah. The frail old. My sheet is taking a while to load. Here we go.
It's all good. Oh my God, food is here. While you're rolling it, I'll be right back.
Sure. $11. Roll a 1 plus a 1. Oh no, a 2 plus a 4.
All right, he pops back up looking fit as a fiddle, and just starts like looking around wildly, trying to get his senses together. He still looks kind of doozy and a little dazed. And he
Do
sees
not be alarmed if you are in a state of shock.
Yeah,
You just received a large wound.
he looks down and sees Nibbler like crawling all over him, and he can't help but panic a little bit, and he just starts like flailing. You know, you try to connect and pacify him. I guess give me a persuasion check.
Damn, I'm currently not trained in it. Here you go.
Yeah, he's still batting at Nibbler, just like really not sure what's going on. That'll bring us to Flick, who I think just left.
Yeah.
Ace.
Can I do a figure
yeah.
out what SDR means on Super Death Robot Titan?
What? Let me take a look at your languages real quick.
Do you speak Super Robot?
You could try to give me an investigation check to just like piece it together by context clues or something else, but you don't know it off the top of your head.
Okay.
You're not really sure. In fact, you're not even entirely sure if it really is SDR. You can see a couple places scratched across its pauldrons on the sides. There are these characters that look a lot like an SDR, but that's really it. It could be like arcane symbols. Hard to tell. In the meantime, Ace.
Can I also do the same thing?
You can. Give me an intelligence check with advantage for reasons. Investigation's fine.
The lowest it can be is a 24.
With the 24, you're not. There's no indication of what it stands for, but it definitely is the characters S, D, and R. However, you would be able to tell from the way that they're written and some of the strange kind of serifs that they use, and just the entire layout of the whole thing. It is the undercommon characters S, D, and R. Like it's got the old-fashioned S, and the equivalent for the D and the R. It is. You're not sure what it stands for, but it was definitely of undercommon make.
Gotcha. Does this guy seem like he is actually like a robotic mechanical thing?
It certainly looks like it. With your investigation check, you don't see any signs of organic being underneath all of that plate.
All right, I'm gonna take one out of Gale's book, run over here, and I'm going to use my Tinker's tools to see if I can like shut him down or put him in suspended mode.
Okay. Could be kind of difficult, but go and give me a roll. Hell yeah. With a 32, you're confident of several things. First of all, this thing is built to be defensible. It is very much built to, like, go into combat, be very well armored, and not be just, like, disabled with the flick of a switch. You imagine that if you could kind of get this thing to stop and knock it out and then dismantle it, you could probably get into its inner workings. Alternatively, if you were to spend, like, you can make progress towards trying to shut it down. It's not the sort of thing you can do with a single action, but if you keep working at it, you might be able to do it over the course of several actions. You would be able to tell, however, as you're kind of working with it, its attention is mostly focused on Nomad, but it does have a bit of a like tracking bead that now shoots over to Vasu. It seems that by helping Nomad, it recognizes Vasu as an enemy now.
What did I do?
I'll guess I'll just try to be stealthy-like while I do this.
Excellent.
You did stun it, Vasu.
But I'm gonna keep working on it.
Oh, that's true. It is stunned, actually. You know what? Mark down 64 points of progress towards disabling this thing.
Ooh, 64%.
Not percent, points. You're not sure what the total is.
Trying to command to do anything.
Oh,
I have
that's
to
right. You
assume
did that too.
not.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that there's a third little red dot that is pointed towards Moat. And it's like visor, which seems to be some sort of monocular input.
So is Ace like playing a video game and just like earning points on his back? Just like a little screen? Is this how this is working?
Kind of, sort of. That'll bring us to Gale.
Well, they've got this covered. I'm just gonna go hang out with Liz.
Alright, she kind of is like, leaning with her back against the stone.
I told
Arms
you they had
crossed.
it.
Yeah, they are quite capable. Is that the sort of thing that's gonna last a while? She kind of like wiggles her fingers.
No idea, but I plan on casting some Dispel Magic on myself as soon as we get out of here.
Not a bad idea. Here, actually. Well, me. She starts to get ready to cast a spell. Can't do it yet.
Cool.
Alright. D is gonna pick himself back up. And unless you say otherwise, gonna just start punching this robot.
I don't know if you should do that.
No? Alright.
I don't know. I think
Do
he
not
hits pretty
recommend.
hard, but he's also stunned. So I mean, I can't tell you to not take advantage of that.
You know what? D's hot-headed. He hears. That's all he needs. That's all he needs.
He hears stunned, and his mind just starts playing like ska music.
Yeah. Pretty
I
much.
wouldn't recommend it, D.
Sorry, that was a weird tangential thought that turned into a joke that only was probably really funny to me because I saw a shit post the other day that was like ska music is what a 13-year-old hears in his head whenever somebody mentions like free breadsticks.
I like it.
And that's what I imagine D hears because he's an excitable young chap.
That's fair. All right. With words of advice from both Basu and Nomad, he does realize that maybe it's best to not get involved, and he will stand back. Boy, all of the Centaur's just fucking dead. Mick is going to kind of like scramble to his feet, and he uses his action to just kind of get Nibbler off. He doesn't injure him or anything. But then he starts to stand up and run in. He's like, no, what's happening? Hey! And he starts speaking in undercommon. Deactivate. Maintain defensive protocol. Just like barking out these commands to it. Seemingly to no avail. But he does start to like push his way up to it. Kind of unafraid of, being injured by it. But can only really get to here. Nordo.
Okay. So refresh me. Everyone seems to be kind of like pacified by Nordo or by Nomad's shtick, except Dirt is still charging into this room, right?
Dirt wants a piece of that Titan.
Yeah,
Okay, he's going for the
commanded
Titan
to.
though. Okay, in that case, oh boy. I will use an action to disengage. I don't know if I have a need to or not, but I will. And get the fuck out of Dirt's path. So climb over the table, come back over here, and kind of just stand next to Moat and do not a whole lot else. I kind of feel like I'm just going to let these two have at it. Do I have a bonus action? No, I don't. We're good.
Alright, outside. Liz is going to kind of quietly cast a spell. There's a little bit of a green light that appears at her fingertips. And she does cast Dispel Magic on you, Gale. I don't know if there's anything else that is going to dispel, or if there's anything in the first place. But if so, let me know and I'll get a check.
Nope, he is just suddenly paranoid about the 1-year suggestion spell.
Legit. No, I think you're clean, darling. Don't worry.
To be fair, would anyone know what a 1-year suggestion spell is?
Possibly with a Arcana reaction check, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know the length of time, but I'm at least aware of what suggestion is. He's used
Suggestion,
it
yeah.
before.
But the mass suggestion, 6th level spell.
You didn't hit us with that, right?
Of course not.
Alright, Vasu, back to you.
Oh, jeez.
You can see that this Titan's lights are starting to come back online one at a time. Stun is fading.
I can't remember where I left off the turn last week, but seeing as I'm bloodied, I imagine I'm also picking myself up off the floor.
Sounds right.
Catching my breath, and as I do so, I kind of look between Mick and the robot, and I'm like, are we cool? Is he cool? Are we cool?
Or maybe I don't know what's going on with it.
Ah, jeez.
It's supposed to be listening to me.
And it's not.
What did you do to it?
I punched it.
Now why would you go and do that?
It was attacking my friend. Everybody was attacking everybody. I don't know.
Alright, it is about this point that I do need an action or this thing might turn around and punch you.
I fly up in the air, hopefully out of its reach. I'm
Alright.
gonna stay probably. How high are the ceilings in here?
Pretty tall, about 25.
Okay, yeah, I'll be like 15 feet up.
Cool.
In the same space I'm at right here. And
Excellent.
I'm like, and I'll look down at D, and I'll be like, if he comes swinging for you instead, don't let him. And I'll bonus action tunnel fight.
Sure, excellent. We'll say he probably dodged.
Yeah.
Gavin is still in a panic on the floor, but he seems to be in agreement that maybe it's better for everybody's health if he just lets all of this happen. He's going to scramble to his feet, and like a coward, start like making his way over towards the exit to get with his guards again. All right, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. They can have it. They can have it. Moat.
We'll speak later, guys.
Oh boy. Sorry, can I jump in real quickly?
Yes.
Because I totally forgot about this when I did this, but it doesn't change what I would have done, I don't think. I have him grappled and would like to keep it that way and pull him over here with me.
Excellent. Then he will try to break your grab.
Cool.
It's probably not going to go well.
Because he's a sad old man.
It's a pretty bad roll.
Yep. Nope, not happening. It's like, all right, I get it. Just don't kill me, Come on. The city needs me. I'm the face. I'm the pretty face.
We just won't talk.
Yeah,
Excellent.
faces are only good for talking.
Back to mode.
Mick said he doesn't think he has this thing under control, right? This thing still looks like it's gonna come beat the shit out of me.
It kind of looks like it's still angry, yeah.
Okay. Boy, let's just go for it. I'm gonna run up next to it, and I'm gonna attempt to shove it towards Dirt.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's not bad. Let's see.
It's actually pretty terrible for me. Still good
Ah!
enough.
Yeah, this thing is just flickering back to life. It's starting to pick itself up to its feet. And it's so focused on Nomad and Vasu that it can't devote its full attention to you. You manage to kind of, you bump into it and realize it weighs a fucking ton. But then you see that there's a board under its feet that you can lift and just kind of wedge him backward. And he just begins to topple backwards towards Dirt.
And that just takes one attack, right?
Yep.
Let's see if I can do it again.
Ooh. Yeah, sure
Yeah.
enough. You just keep that momentum going, and you keep rolling him over towards Dirt. This that was Zanetta kind of uses his reaction to get out of the way.
Alright, I'll take my last little bit of movement here, and since I took this feat forever ago, I feel like I have to use it. I'm gonna use my bonus action to try and knock him prone.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Guild Master.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
there it is.
I think he's prone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In fact, give me 2d6.
He is the most prone he could possibly be.
Yeah, you get him to land prone, and you can see right at the connection of the base of his head. It slams into the railing where Dirt's at. Does a little bit of bludgeoning damage. There's a spark that kind of pops out from between the socket.
Cool, I'll just look up at Dirt and I just go, kill it! And that is me.
Excellent. And Dirt needs no convincing. He wants this thing dead as fuck. He just lets out this brutal roar, jumps down on top of him, and starts going fucking nuts.
Range bite.
First, he just begins biting at the neck and ripping with his claws. But then he pulls out from his side this, it looks like a fire poker or a crowbar, but as soon as he grabs it into his hand, it begins to glow bright orange, and he jams it right into the chest. Oh, fuck.
Damn, Dirt.
There's this thick black smoke that begins to billow out from where the stick just presses into the metal. And then finally he whips the tail around. And that'll do it. He just kind of grabs it and crushes like a soda can. And there's a pop and all the parts begin to spill free. Then he looks up with a roar at everybody else. He is the one other person who is not suggested. Boy, but he's... Let's see. The honcho's gonna try to convince him to settle down. We'll see how it goes.
I do not want to fight this guy.
Yeah, there is some like chittering and bug-like noises from the three crane right beside him. You see all four of the hands go up and try to like wave him down, like no, Dirt, no, stop it.
What's he saying?
I don't know if any
Oh,
of you
yes.
speak three crane, but if you do,
I understand all spoken language.
oh, excellent. Then you can tell, even though it is a language that you don't fully understand normally, just by connecting with this key and getting a read for him, that he's trying his best to get Dirt to not fuck this up for everyone, because he thinks that it could lead to his own death potentially if things go back into a fight.
Yeah,
Good.
it'll probably have to wait until, and I probably shouldn't be the one to do any persuasion anyway, but if it does help, I'll pitch in.
Sure, you can give me a persuasion check.
Let me actually see if Vasu is proficient, and he is not, and it is a +0, so I'm gonna pass on that actually.
Excellent. Technically, it should wait to the talk round anyway, but we'll just jump
Yeah.
through.
That's
They're all
good.
standing back, standing down. Zuko stands down. She kind of takes a step back and gives a bit of a note or a nod to Nomad. Boy, the guards look like they want to rush in to go get Archie, but also Dirt's right there, and they don't want to fuck with that. So they both kind of like ready in action to go get Archie what they can. Good, and that brings us to the top of the round. And finally, the Three Queen is able to kind of calm Dirt down and explain. Dirt's like, why not smash? I'm Dirt smash. Dirt job smash. But
Dirt, very good at Smash.
Nordo says the
But there's-
exact same thing to Nomad.
There's a time and a place for Smash, and it's not now.
with that, everything
Exceedingly good at Smash.
does kind of resolve to a tenuous calm. They have to kind of like pull Dirt out and give him like a wall to punch for a little while. But there is kind of a throwing of hands up in the air and saying, okay, all right, we get it. We don't want any trouble. We're just, trying to do things the way we always have around here. But you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe this is for the better. Nobody wants to just shed blood for this. We played a game. Fair is fair, right? We all cheated as best as we could, and you guys won. We'll cut our losses. It's fine. You can have it. You can have the oasis and the manor. Archie kind of like looks to Norda to see if, can I go? We're all good here, right? It's just a misunderstanding. We had a way that we do things, and now we're all reformed. It's a new era for Salt Bowl.
Remind me
Nordo
again,
just deflects
please.
to Nomad.
Remind me again, please. Sorry, which envelope D snatched from somebody before the fighting broke out?
D snatched the envelope from Archie, which contains a small key. It looks like a bank key.
Did anybody else seem to notice that?
Ooh,
I'm sure I did.
Well,
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
nothing gets by A.
I'm trying to remember the roll. Checking.
It might be pretty high up.
Yes, he was able to grab it, but he was not able to do so like without being seen. A couple people saw that happen, including especially Archie.
I kind of think.
With that said, he doesn't seem to be making a big deal of it. He kind of just wants to get out of here in one piece. He looks thoroughly frightened.
To the party, basically just connects and just say, we have chosen the path of mercy. I think this went much better than expected.
So
Does this mean that we get all the envelopes now?
I think so.
just because I'm not real great at reading between the lines, that mean I should let go of this feller.
Certainly, at least it might help.
Alright, I'll do that.
And then Nomad connects with everyone. Might I have your attention?
Yeah, it looks like Archie is just like about to brush himself off, and then maybe make a move for like, by the way, can I have that envelope back? But you speak up in everyone's minds, and he just decides not to fuck with it right yet. So everybody kind of turns their attention to you.
I am not the best at reading people. Might I have your thoughts on the matter? What do you wish from Saltball?
Before anybody else can come up with an answer, you can see they're all kind of stumped. They're trying to figure out what you're going for and how to present their own case in a way that seems positive. But Zuko very confidently kind of steps up behind you. We simply wish to prosper. We wish to live. Our people want food, we want water, and we want shelter. This place has two of those three things, and I believe we could have a third. We want control of the oasis to go to the people, the hands of the people.
What if I said we could have more? More than just survival? What if we can have much more than this land could offer. Mr. White was a big shark in a puddle drying up in the sun. The largest of the fish here. I am new with metaphors. You'll have to forgive me. He's going to like give himself a bonus to persuasion.
Alright.
With this then he's going to cast a spell. To turn that like proficiency into expertise.
Right, skill empowerment, I think it is.
Yeah, 5th level.
Okay.
Then he's going to continue. And just subtract the mana. Mr. White was a tyrant. And his legacy continues with this tyranny. The shackles here remain. He looks around. In the form of illiteracy and thirst. Why must this place be bound by shackles?
There is... Oh boy, give me a persuasion check with all of your bonuses.
Sweet. And because they're mind controlled, it's disadvantage.
The mind control, it's factored in here, don't worry.
Oh, that's fair.
I'm kind of trying to determine degrees of a success, but they're already in a very favorable position. Okay. There is a moment of silence, and then Archie kind of clears his throat, and he crosses his arms. The last time that those words were spoken... Well, Dame Carlotta was found pushed out of a window. You sure you're willing to stick your neck out? Okay.
Immediately, just I can fly.
He stops cold, and you see this slow smile begin to crawl across his face. He kind of begins to stroke at this beard that kind of comes down to a point. He looks over to his guards, and as if, like, on command, they start to laugh as well, and he laughs out loud, and everybody starts to just kind of do this nervous laughter. And eventually he kind of pats his hand on the table a few times, broken though it is already. He says, "Alright, you heard him, boys. It's time for a new era. Well, we've done what we needed to here. The Oasis is yours. The manor is yours. I'll be in my mansion if you ever want to speak about how to proceed from here. Maybe it is time that things change around here."
Of course. I do not think keeping factions like this separated is the answer for the future. Salt Bowl is a sum greater than its parts. For it to flourish, we must be one, not many.
It's kind of bizarre. As you are saying the word, they seem to come from within and from your own inspiration, but you can almost hear this echo of the words being spoken in another voice behind your own. A little bit gravelly and a little bit birdish, almost. Almost like you're hearing somebody else speaking the same word somewhere in your distant memory. And looking across the room, everybody seems to be on board. It's a little hard to tell. At first, they were very intimidated. They believed that they were outclassed, that it was unwise to do this, that it was a silly squabble. But you start to see looks of, like, genuine interest in, like, maybe making a change. In particular, you especially see that Zuko is kind of making eye contact deliberately with a lot of these other gang leaders, with the exception of Zavada, who she seems to kind of heavily despise. And Zuko starts to, like, nod at all of these other leaders, making it very clear that, like, she's on board. She wants to make peace. She doesn't think that there needs to be this division. And you can see across the room, the Three Creen is hard to read. They're typically very emotionless. They're very stoic. But he kind of folds all
easiest
forward.
to read for me, you
Yeah. That's true for you. It's actually probably the cold-faced is a little bit almost easier to interpret. But he crosses all forms in front of himself and kind of just gives a nod. Bugsy and the boys, they all kind of look up to you guys. Like, they seem to respect your opinion, and because Nomad is one of you, they seem to be on board to give this a try. You can still see that Yogg is a little bit hurt about the whole situation, but he's with them and he's their subordinate, and he kind of agrees with it. And before long, the only people that don't seem to be super enthused about this are Zanetta and the Emerald Company. But even then, they have their orders, and they believe it's probably in the best interest to see how this goes. They don't believe that this is a fight that they can win, and they didn't win it the fair way. Air quotes around fair. And they eventually just kind of give a harumph and begin to walk off.
We shall reconvene later for some discussions.
Yeah.
For now, let's rest.
There is a little bit more, just kind of general discussion, a little bit, honestly, of partying and drinking. A lot of people were still in the middle of drinks when the game started, and unless you kick them out, they're content to hang out, continue playing a couple more games of cards on the table, even though it's broken. But eventually, to speed through things, you are left alone. Archie is one of the last to leave. He does say, I don't want to push my luck here, but I did win one of those envelopes.
You did.
Find his keepers.
I do not think it is
Nah,
a
I'm
good
just
look
yanking your chain.
to
I
act
imagine
like pirates.
I imagine D will probably pass it over.
What was Nomad going to say?
I do not think it is what's the word here? I find it hypocritical to call myself to say like we're ending tyranny and then to take your money.
I'm honored. I actually am quite surprised. You know, I liked Carlotta's politics. I think they may have just been too revolutionary for the time, but
I'm not sure who that is. I know vaguely the history of the person. I don't know them personally. They were pushed out a window, and that speaks poorly of them.
yeah. She was an older woman in Agpa. Loved her jewelry, but was a woman of the people. Wanted to end the illiteracy thing too. She wasn't just concerned about the water. She thought there was something bigger at play. You've really never heard of her. I could have sworn several bits of your speech were very familiar.
Oh no, I've heard of her like historically. I've asked around town.
I see. Well, I do appreciate it, and he does kind of reach out for the envelope from D. It sounds like D probably hands it over. He
Yeah,
checks with
I
Vasi
can't.
first.
I can't entirely speak for his moral compass, but I imagine he probably does. Vasu probably will like nudge him to do it too.
Yeah, he's definitely not in a position where he thinks about like going against the party's wishes over a large sum of money, so he hands it over. Gives a bit of a nod. And after a few more minutes, everybody kind of clears out, and things go quiet, and you've got the manor to yourself. Including...
Before Mick leaves, I ask him if he's all right, and like if there's a way to salvage his Titan.
Yeah, he spent the whole time over there just like looking this thing over. Gosh, this took so long to get all together. So many parts. I'm gonna have to hire so many new adventurers to go digging around again. No, don't fuss with it. Don't fuss with it. You'll make it even worse. I'll go get a cart and start hauling it off. Maybe I'll be able to get it back together again. Sure seemed to like you, huh? And he does have kind of just like this, not quite a glare, but there's an accusatory glance towards you. He definitely seems to think that maybe you're a little responsible for whatever happened, even though he doesn't fully understand it.
I imagine you're talking to Nomad.
Yeah, to Nomad, yeah.
Yeah, it seems to have gone straight from you when you lost control.
You have any idea what that's all about?
Absolutely, you'll learn about it later. If you still want some of the books, I'm open for discussions, and I have a few trades perhaps as well. Information where you can get more of these. Nods at it.
I'm intrigued. I really should make sure that I get
Replacement.
back before the gangs do, because if I leave my mansion unattended with this guard down, they might get a little ballsy. But I'll tell you what, I'll try to get in touch with you sometime, in the next couple of weeks maybe. Information is
Certainly.
valuable, and I can pay.
Be well.
It takes some time. He's actually one of the last few people here. It's him and Liz. But eventually,
Probably help him get the thing on the card.
yeah, they bring a card up, and he works with anybody who's willing to help to get this thing loaded onto the card, and he heads off.
Can I
Flick will help,
mending
and
the
then
table? Go ahead.
Flick will help with getting the robot on the cart, and then as was it Mick? He's gone now. I was leaving. He's gonna grab him once he leaves the building.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Sorry about my colleague in there. He has a lot of a god complex, so he's very self-important, and I'm sorry they ruined your machine. Feel like it's partially my fault for not stepping in, so here. He's gonna toss him a
Interesting.
bag of 200 gold.
Ooh, okay. Give me a persuasion check with advantage. Okay, excellent. Hang on, give me just a second to check my notes on something.
No, it probably doesn't pay for all of it, obviously, but it's a start anyway.
Can I use these super mending rules to fix the table?
The scaling cantrip thing?
Yeah.
I think that's within the realm
larger.
of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
double
the
check
hole
real quick.
gets underneath it?
It should be doable. There's nothing like super like magical or fancy about it. It's just a table that's been cleaved in half. An improved mending can almost certainly do the trick.
It's ours now. We might as well have it fixed.
All right. Looking up to you, Flick, he looks very thankful, and he seems very eager to take the bait. Like he wants to throw a ton of blame onto Nomad very quickly. And when you give him that hook, he bites hook, line, and sinker. And he kind of like motions for you to bend down so that he can whisper something. If I were you, I'd be really very careful around that creature, whatever it is. I don't know if you know anything about these things, but they were made to hunt down monsters. Monsters from other worlds, they say.
I hadn't heard that. I knew they eat brains and the like, but didn't know they were meant to hunt down monsters. Interesting.
This right here, and he kind of points to the shoulder. Undercommon, Sociedades Defensus Rebutus. Means they're robots made to defend society. That's what they called themselves, the old people. They called themselves society. Something came from far away. They talked about gods or monsters or demons or something. Demons from the black of night. These things, they built them. It was their finest work at the time. Some of the greatest minds they built this whole army of the things, but apparently it wasn't enough. But there's more out there. If you're ever looking for work, I could use it. I could use hands, young, spry hands like yours, to go dig up these pieces of the past, learn together. Maybe save ourselves from the future,
Sounds great. Sounds up my alley. Kind of my work anyway. A bit busy at the time, but I'm assuming you'll be around here.
Yeah, my manor, it's the pink one, up on the northeast side of town. You can't miss it.
Oh, okay.
What was your name, kid? I missed it.
It's just Flick. Flick's fine.
Like, all right. Watch your back. Traveling with strange people.
Who you calling straight?
He kind of like looks over towards everybody else and then gives you a pat and then begins to wheel off with the hired cart and all those pieces. And back in the room,
Cool.
This is about the time that Liz takes another drag, kind of looks around to make sure there's nobody else here, and then switches back into King's normal form with the grotesque features of the King of Willingquet. But keeps...
But he's wearing the clothes.
Yes, still...
I was gonna say, is he still wearing the heels?
He is. He's still wearing the heels, the dress, and even this fake kind of bonnet hat sort of thing. And the long cigarette holder with the cigarette in it.
You look better in that than I thought you would.
Oh, thank you, darling. I really do. I spend a lot of time on this. It's very important
On
to
the
be
heel?
presentable. Oh, on all of it. On the whole shebang. The whole... the outfit, You don't want to go too over the top, because then you look like a target. But you really got to show that you own the place, that you're respectable. It's a lot of hard work.
I hesitate to even ask, but what you been up to since we last saw you, Mr. King?
You know I can't talk about any of that, of course. But I did come down here hoping to secure a little bit more control over the city. And I've lost the game that I helped you get extra seats in, so...
Second place isn't bad, is it?
Oh, I understand.
You weren't even a runner-up. Come on.
Yes, Gale. You can also give me Tinker's Tools or Investigation. Either one's fine. Alright, I don't want to push my luck. I wouldn't want you to do any of that weird head stuff with me. But if you ever need help, you know, exploring the manor, running the oasis, making sure that power is distributed properly among the various gangs of the city, you know who to come to. I'm very good with politics and people and money and making sure not to cross the streams, if you know what I mean.
Why control you when I can just pay you?
See, I like the way you think. Man of business.
Practicality.
Speaking of business, I don't want to speak for everybody else, but we might be able to come some sort of arrangement if you can tell us more about what you know about New Society Staples.
Oh, well, they're my employers. I'm not going to speak ill of them. I'm not going to give you trade secrets, at least not for a low price. They're a big company. They've got their fingers in everything. They do food, they do goods and wares, they do carpentry, they do construction, logistics, infrastructure. They are trying to build a better world, they say. And I kind of believe it. They've done incredible things. Have you seen The Wandering Sun? It's the most brilliant work of architecture or engineering that I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
I ain't seen it yet. Mean to see it sometime pretty soon.
Right. Of course, yes. That was insensitive, and I apologize. Well, I do believe this, with their icky politics aside, they do have the best of humanity at heart, perhaps. Making some gold along the way, you know it doesn't hurt.
Does the name Ozymandias mean anything to you?
Never heard of it.
Inside check.
Sure, hit me.
Vasu, is Shu around?
Always.
Oh, then this is just Max then.
Bless.
Let me just roll it Max.
Doesn't even phase him. It kind of seems like he just blows it off. He's never heard that name. If it's anybody at NSS, I've never heard of it. Too high up for me. Although I have been pretty high up. I feel like I should have heard of it. Do you know something I don't?
Can I also make that check too?
Sure, go for it.
Closest can be is a 25.
Same result.
Also, hold on. I didn't quite follow all that politics back there. Is this our house now? Is that what you just said, friend Nomad?
Yes, this belongs to us now. So does the water. Well, the water belongs to Salt Bowl. But we have to find ways to prevent it from being taken by others. Vasu recover like, what's 8 times 6? Plus 5. Whatever that is.
Math.
Yeah, because you're maximized, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, should be 53.
Yeah, cool.
Gale, as you're helping to load this thing up, you are able to tell that a lot of the machinery that is exposed from dirt just laying into it looks to be very similar in nature. It has a lot of the same metalwork, a lot of the same kind of internal gizmos that you were expecting, a lot of very fine work that you would normally only see in like clockwork, not in machines this large. However, you are not able to find like an intact heart similar to the one that you found in the Eridana Spire.
Cool.
It's possible that with a full dismantling, you might be able to dig through more, but you do a pretty thorough search, even just kind of just going in through the wounds that already exist, and you look where you would expect to find it, and you don't see it there. So you get the sense that it either operates a little differently, or it's already been stripped out somehow. It's a little hard to tell. With the 37, you can definitely tell that there have been modifications made. And they're okay, but they're not great. They are by a not quite a novice artificer, but one who is not nearly as skilled as you.
Should we look for secret trap rooms?
Not with King around, we should.
We'll wait for King to leave.
All right. I can tell when I'm not wanted. I'll tell you what. For 50 gold, I'll look through all the walls in this place.
Pretty sure we can
That
look
takes
through
all-
our own walls.
It also takes all the fun away from it.
That's not what I thought.
Yeah, but then like you can see through the walls and you'll know what our house looks like.
Well, I'm
I
going to
guess
do
you
it
could
either
just-
way. I'm just
I feel like
asking
it's
if you
gonna-
want to pay me 50 gold for me to tell you, or if you want me to just do it and keep it to myself.
How about I don't kick your ass and you don't look through our walls and you leave right now?
Give me an intimidation check.
I'll help.
Sure.
Thank you. It's not terrible.
Mine is.
I want to chase the rabbit to see how intimidating I am.
All right, you've made your point. You guys beat me up real good last time. No, I've had my neck twisted the wrong way once too many times by those big burly fists. I'll be off. And Liz does begin to cast a spell.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Mr. King, if you ever want to reconsider changing sides, you are capable.
Oh, sides are such a messy topic. You know how to find me. And he, flips a copper piece and then casts Dimension Door and bamps away.
You guys really should just stop being so mean to people who could potentially help us out. Now, given the choice, you probably would rather slit your neck than help it out.
Do you want him looking through our walls before we do?
I mean, it would save us the trouble. I mean, why would I work for 5 hours when I can have him do 5 seconds and tell me where the secret passage is?
Because he's probably
So-
not going to tell you where all the secret passages are.
And he'll show where all secret passages are. We can't
We'll
trust
do
that
that
fella
either
as
way.
far as we can throw him.
I trust that Ace can do it better than he can, though I do believe we don't have to be that hostile to everyone around us.
Not to everyone around us, but how about to people that are praising the people what kept me as a slave for half a decade? All right for me to be mean to them. Is that okay with everybody?
I'm fine with it.
Absolutely right.
It's fine. It's not what I meant, but
What
everything I say gets misconstrued anyway, so it's fine.
Well then, by all means, continue. And he just sits down and looks at Flick.
Are you ready to let me talk now for once in your life?
By all means.
Of course, when I don't have anything to say is when it's fine.
Really? You've had nothing to say all this time.
To be honest, sometimes I just tune everything out, because no matter what happens, my word's not going to mean anything anyway. It's what Nomad wants, it's what Vasu wants, it's what Nordo wants. Do we
And
ever
what
ask
do you
Flick
want?
about what he wants? I don't fucking know. Like I said, I didn't pay attention to half of this shit because it didn't fucking matter.
So you're saying you don't know what you want, and you're angry that we have needs.
Currently, I don't know what I want because I've stopped paying attention because it doesn't matter. Why would I put the effort through it if it doesn't matter? Nomad will just snap his fingers and be great at everything, so what's the point of me even being here today? Sorry,
Nomad
it's just
crosses his arms.
a lot pent up here. Just, I don't know.
Continue.
I don't know how much there is to say. I just feel like we're a group, but we don't really seem to care about each other's opinions so much as we just kind of pick one and go with it. Oh, we don't want King to look in the house. Let's not discuss it. Let's just threaten to punch him and make him leave. I don't know. For a group of heroes, we seem to do an awful lot of telling people to fuck off and not taking advantage of our resources.
Heroes is a strong descriptor of us.
I'm a hero.
He's definitely a hero. I'm not a hero. And We
I've heard-
cannot always discuss what we feel at the time, especially when emotions well up. This is something I've learned, and I'm still learning.
Look,
Right.
I'm happy to talk about whether we trust King or not, but not in front of King.
I guess suppose that's fair. Just never mind me. I'm gonna go for a walk real quick. I'll be back in a bit.
Is he gonna be back in a bit? It's
He'll be back in a bit.
Be safe.
And he was never heard from again.
All right.
That's what I assume with my 15.
Flick, is this hand raised for something separate?
Nope, it was just for that.
Okay.
Also, I'm also going to roll to see if he's coming back.
Sure.
He's coming back. He was gonna pay King to look for the walls either way.
Like,
It happened real quick and didn't have a chance to do anything.
he's just going to the grocery store real quick to pick up some like milk.
Cigarettes.
He's just getting cigarettes. He'll be
He's
back.
just getting cigarettes. He'll be right back. No, he's just going for a walk. That's literally it.
Flick, give me a perception check. Okay, excellent. We're going to come back to you in a bit. For the time being, when Flick heads off towards the water, what does everybody else do?
So the moment Liz left or King left, Nomad at the end of the table just kind of stoops and places his palms on the surface, and the disguise of that man with the beard he's wearing just closes his eyes. And like that posture of constantly standing very straight and hovering above the ground just sort of vanishes. And he lets out a long breath.
All right there for a nomad.
It went better than calculated. We had only one death. That is unfortunate. He looks over at the centaur. I don't know if that's still there, or if the orcs and Knowles grabbed it,
The
give
ape.
a barrel.
The orcs would have taken it back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I still don't totally understand what happened, but sure did put everybody at ease. But I meant, are you all right? You look kind of like shit.
The short of it is, I expended higher magic, the highest that I've ever cast, to influence everyone's opinion, to reach a peaceful accord.
You can do that sort of thing with magic. Ain't they just going to come back here in a couple minutes when it wears off?
It'll probably wear off in a year and a day. That's ample time to convince them that this is the best course of action. It always was. And one of them succeeded. It didn't fall under the control. They agreed. They know Zuku.
If you say so. It's all too complicated for me. But I trust you if you think it's the best way.
For what it's worth, I am very grateful that you stayed with me. I know mechanically it made sense. But this is ours now.
Yeah.
And for once, it doesn't feel like I'm turning my back on people who need help.
I'm glad we could do this too.
A puppet?
I was gonna say, I assume that was Drake describing Ace's intimidation check.
Oh, I just noticed it now.
I wasn't really entirely sure. Okay,
I was wondering if I'd been there the entire session. I just now noticed it.
fairly new. Flick, how far do you wander? Do you just kind of go sit by the water, or do you go a little bit farther out?
He'll probably walk along the edge of it, throwing rocks, seeing how far I can skip it. That was a 19. That's a pretty good rock chuck.
That's a good rock chuck.
Hell of a chuck.
There is a point where you chuck one, and it skips real good, probably a good 7 or 8 skipper before it finally plunks in. And then there is a whiff, just past your left shoulder, and another rock flies out. It skips 3 or 4 times, then eventually plunks in. And you do see that King has not gone far, and he kind of walks up beside you, although his footsteps are incredibly quiet. And he says, "You never did any piracy, did you?" I should clarify.
Never.
You never did any slavery, did you?
No, I did not do that. Correct.
It is dirty business. I don't like it. But I understand why they don't like it too.
I'm definitely not a fan. It's just they're very irrational sometimes. And it drives me insane.
Well, you're not wrong. I've how do I put this? I've come to embrace it. It's easy to manipulate when people behave on emotions rather than reason. It's easy to twist that into whatever you want it to be. It's malleable. It's warm, wet clay. I'm making myself out to sound crazy though, and that's not what I'm here to do. You are indebted, are you not? I've seen the way that you cast magic. I've seen glimpses of where it comes from.
That's a way to put it, but yes, I suppose I'm indebted.
You disagree?
No, you're right. I don't know. I'm kind of working it off, I guess. I suppose I've always been working it off, though. Not really ever been not indebted, so it's not that big of a deal.
If it weren't for your literal chains to your literal patron, the thing that gives you power, even before that, debts to the place you grew up in, the churches that raised you, their beliefs, their wants, even to your mother, not in a bad way, but to her illness, to her mortality. Have you ever felt control, even for a moment?
No, not really. I think the only time I've ever really felt control was the day I made the decision to get on that ship. Even though I was kind of a dare to begin with, but I made the choice to go.
There is an enticing beauty that will be spoken to you, or may have already been spoken to you, and give me an insight check. Of living your life every day as if you were getting on a new ship. And you get the sense he is trying to very subtly but deliberately suggest that he knows something that you have been offered. People will try to offer you freedom and control, and they will do it to manipulate you. I think you're a little better than that. And he gives just a very little bit of a small smile. And I like to think I'm better than it too. But there's an importance to playing it cool. Anyway, for 25 gold, I'll look through those walls for you. You don't have to tell your friends, and you can claim you found it yourself.
Ooh, a discount. Alright. Liking this. Sure, here you go.
As soon as you hand the gold over, he tells you, he doesn't even look towards the manor. At the back of the books to the left, you're going to have to apply force near the bottom. It's very, very tricky. There's a part behind the wall that gives just an inch. You need to slide something under that and then move it right. You didn't hear it from me. You found it yourself. Nobody has to know. It's been a pleasure doing business. Be careful who you do
Pleasure.
business with in the future.
Of course. All right. Thanks.
And this
Give him a
time...
little-
Oh, yeah, go.
Let's give him a little nod and a little 2-finger far off salute.
He casts the same spell again and presumably disappears again. You look around and don't see any signs of him.
All right. Flick will chuck one last rock and then head back.
Alright. You guys kind of regroup back here, and you have the place to yourselves. What would you like to do? Moat, what's up?
Sorry, while all that was going on, I actually probably would have headed to the mausoleum at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to do that while everybody else is kind of looking through the manor, or do you want to wait and do it after all that?
I sure don't know the first thing about looking for hidden passages, so I'm going to leave this to the better investigators, and I'll go do it now.
Excellent. Then yeah, as Flick was kind of having his chat out back, you could have made your way down. About 15-20 minutes later, you make it up the steps to the mausoleum. And you do find that there are the same few priests that you've become familiar with, including the kind of stocky dwarven one, all of whom wear the four-sided masks. And the dwarven one kind of recognizes you. Said, "Oh, welcome back. What brings you back to Saltpool?"
Hey, buddy, how's it going? Look, I was wondering if you could help me with a question.
I can certainly try.
So, Suanu's got this sword that can kill gods. Does he ever lend that thing out?
Oh boy. Well, there's a lot to unpack there. The first thing that you need to know is that these artifacts, it's hard to tell if they are literal, actual artifacts or more just manifestations of a god's power and force. Zuanu could kill another god, and it said that the force you would use to do that is through this sword, the Ebon Blade, but there's no saying whether or not that is a real sword or if it's just all part of the allegory, you know? But also there are tales of it happening some, thousands of years ago, so maybe. But no, never willingly given out. It would be like chopping off your own arm to give it to somebody.
So, no, great champions of Zuanu ever, wielded it? You guys don't have any of those kinds of stories?
None that I'm aware of. It's always sort of a figurative thing, you know? It's a manner of speaking for one god to raise his sword against the other. Like Sayra's harp, or Diema's loom, or, they each have their powers, but they're just allegories. They're not actual literal things.
I see. Well, what if... I guess I don't know what I'm looking for here. What if the person who needed it was important and needed it for, important reasons? And what if that person had the champion of Aether behind him? Even if it's just an allegory, do you think I could, ask for his help? I'm not super familiar with Suanu. How does he work?
This is, Swan is a very just god. If he believes that your cause is reasonable and balanced and fair, then he will lend his aid to it, with the appropriate amount of sympathy, whether that comes in the form of donations, or tithes, or pledge, or sometimes even soul servitude. Even for a champion of Aedra, and in fact, it may be more difficult for a champion of Aedra, because you've already devoted so much of your own self to a competing god. Not that the two don't get along, but each person has a finite amount of energy that they can give to a god, right? And you've already pledged yourself to another. It would be difficult for you to persuade him to give that degree of power to you, at least without abandoning what you've already given yourself to Aedra. And that was a confusing way of saying that maybe, but it would have to be a very grand purpose, and you might have more luck if you were a devoted follower of Zuanu.
No, that makes sense. Well, is it okay if I at least go pray real quick?
Of course, anytime.
Can't hurt to ask, right?
Absolutely. No, help yourself anytime.
Just like walk up to the altar.
Yeah, he kind of motions you over there. He doesn't say anything, but when he sets you down at the altar, he kind of pats you on the shoulder, and then as he's walking away, he just kind of accidentally pats the tithe box a little bit, and then walks away.
I'm gonna pray first.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have that button down the entire time. So I'll just, get down. I'm just like, hi, Zuanu. It's me. We don't really talk a lot, but I was hoping you could help me out. Look, I've got a friend, Gale, and he really, really wants your death sword. I don't know what you call it. I'm sorry, Zuanu. This is wildly disrespectful. But it would just mean a lot to me if you could, I don't know, do something to help us out.
I love Moat tremendously.
All right. Well, that's all I got. You have a good night. Adra's watching. I'll stand up and Mo doesn't have the value of money. I'll drop 14 platinum into the tithe box.
Holy shit.
Just slip a thread in at the end and then drop some platinum.
Oh,
Gotta
well,
try
here you
everything
go.
you can.
The story
Intimidate
just
and bribe.
wants-
Just capture both ends.
You said 14 platinum?
Give
140 gold.
give me a religion check with
Oh,
charisma.
that's not as much as.
It's still over $10,000. He just tosses
It is.
Yeah,
It's just
and-
ching.
He could have bought a car. He just put a car into the offering side.
I gave them more last time. Would you say a religion with?
Religion with charisma. Okay. What's the difference on that?
My int is a +5. My charisma would be. Sorry, I'm trying to find.
Wait, I'm sorry. Your int is a +5?
No. Sorry, that was my mod to it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like your proficiency?
So that would
Yes.
be.
It should be a +6 now.
Who's got a
Yeah. I'm
Minus
trying.
1.
He's got a
Oh.
-1, yeah.
Oh, right. -1.
So it should be
So
plus.
that'd be 25 total with
Hey.
charisma.
Alright, excellent. God damn. Alright. Nothing happens immediately. There's no shaking in the ground. There's no booming voice from the heaven. But as you exit, you feel like your words have probably reached somewhere on high. It's hard to say if anything will come of it, but at the very least, there's a warmth that kind of follows you out of the temple and, back onto the streets of Salt Bowl.
I'll take it. I was expecting nothing.
I assume
That-
Nordis,
that
or Mode
was
says
very
as he
well.
walks out the door.
As far as feelings you could get after threatening the god of death, a warm, fuzzy feeling is pretty good, I think.
But after some time, those of you still back in the mansion, so while Flick is out back and while Mode is at the temple, do any of you do anything right away, or do you wait till they regroup?
I do, but Nordos first.
Yes,
Go ahead.
hands.
Mine's kind of later. He can go first.
Sure, Gale.
I take a nap and try and talk to Ozymandias.
Interesting. Okay. Sure. What would be the... Okay, you know what? It's reasonable. We'll say it happens. As you hop into this bed, it is so plush. It's so luxurious. It's one of the finest beds that you've ever slept in. The
Look,
bed of a
this
king.
This fucker told me that I know how to contact him, and so I assume that I just have to go to bed and he'll contact me. He never gave me instruction.
And you do find eventually that you drift off to sleep. And you don't remember much at first. It's hazy. It's the early stages of a cycle. But when you go to bed with the intent in your mind of getting in touch with Ozymandias, and when you try to visualize his face, there is eventually a point where you see wispy shadows of the skeletal figure that drift in and out of the gray of your dreams. It's not nearly as stark or as vivid as some of the past visions, but you do, after some time, hear a voice that says, "Oh, you're back."
I'm here to solidify our deal.
All right, what did you have in mind?
Well, it's what you said. I get Osdir's body, you get mine. Uh, I'll go and retrieve the robotic heart, and then we can all meet together and have a lovely meeting at the what's the name of this machine again?
The semblance engine at the bottom of
Yeah,
the
that
sea.
one. Speaking of which, I'm gonna need Osdirith to come and pick me up and take me there.
Okay, I might have to AFK for a bit because there's some tornado sirens going
Good
on
luck.
outside.
Be
Oh,
safe.
good luck.
Oh no!
I can hear him.
Be safe.
Oh, that might be difficult. He is very, very locked into your home. They've put up the, what do you call it, the cellar door, and in fact, I believe they've even modified it to fully encapsulate the place. No one goes in, no one goes out, and I could probably send the word, but I don't know if I trust you yet. How do I know that this isn't a ploy to leave the city abandoned?
Suppose that's a fair concern. Well, unfortunately, from my perspective, if you're going to give me Osdir's body, then he's going to need to be there, correct?
Yes.
So one way or another, he has to leave.
I had imagined we fetch the engine and we go to him.
I mean, how big is this thing?
Large, but not much larger than some of the other things that you haul around. Maybe, probably fits in a wagon.
Well, it's a bit big for me to be carrying on my own.
You seem like a clever guy. You built an airship, right? You've made some sort of a swimming boat? Surely moving an engine won't be hard for you.
More difficult than you think. I'd help with all of those things, and I'm on my own for this. So
Well, I have the utmost confidence in you, but I am afraid I cannot leave that city unguarded until I know for sure that the engine is being brought to it.
all right, then where is this engine?
Oh, that's the wonderful thing. I don't know. I've heard rumors that it's deep, deep beneath the sea somewhere, but, if I understand correctly, you might actually have an advantage on me over here.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
I'm not good at these.
Hard to tell. Yeah, hard to get any sort of a read on it. The whole thing is very, very hazy.
Well, I'm going to need a bit more from your end if this is going to work.
Alright, what did you have in mind? It's a little hard for me to give any sort of physical embodiment. I'm sure you've noticed, I've been reaching out in illusions and images for a reason.
Yeah, and you have resources and people that follow you, people that can do this stuff for you.
Alright, alright. Well, what would you like assistance with?
Well, getting a damn machine would have been nice, but if your people are that incapable, I guess I can find a way myself.
It is so hard to find good help. Trust me, you understand my plight. You understand my frustration. This is why we're kin. It is so hard to find competent minions. That's one of the reasons that I can't leave that city unguarded, you know.
Well, it is going to be released afterwards, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter if it's left unguarded.
But that was part of the deal. Look, I appreciate your gall, and if there's anything that you can think of that I can offer, then send me something concrete. But I do want to reiterate that you're not in a position to be negotiating with me. I will get what I want, one way or another. I'm just willing to take a bargain to speed things up if it's very, very convenient for me. I'm theoretically paying a high price, losing a son. Can you imagine? Have you ever had a family?
Once.
Well, then I'm sure you know how badly this is going to hurt me.
I'm sure it will.
Yes.
Well, do you know anything else that could be useful?
I know that part of it, the missing part, presumably, was in the control of Mr. White and Saltbull, and I know that you have some connections there. So, I would start looking there.
Okay, I'm back. Hypothetically,
Welcome back.
for now, at least.
Come back.
Thanks. It's probably just a severe thunderstorm. No tornadoes. The siren stopped going off. But the main tragedy of it is that the Wendy's closed. So
No.
my DoorDash order got canceled.
Oh no!
Well,
Yeah,
Terrible nightmare.
I have to cook.
Ugh.
It's probably about that time. By the looks of it, you might wake up to the sound of Flick on the piano. But let's cut to Nordo real quick. Nordo, what are you up to during all this?
I'll kind of avail myself of whatever kitchen this place has and make some dinner.
Yeah, you do
I
find
don't know
that
if it has like food kitchen or if it's just a bar.
it does. It looks like it hasn't been touched in maybe a day or two, maybe 3 days. But it is well stocked. It has lots of food, lots of liquor, and it's pretty high quality, especially for what you would expect from this place.
Okay.
You do also notice that although it is high quality, it is almost entirely stored and shipped in NSS boxes.
Oh. Well, hell. In that case, I'll not do any of that. Is there anything that isn't an SS?
You see that there is some like raw meat that looks like it was like there's fish that presumably might have been caught from the Oasis.
Okay.
It
how
is a
about
little
the-
bit of a revolting sight. It does seem like a lot of the food here is imported through NSS.
Okay. How about the alcohol? Is that an SS also?
There's a smattering. There's a collection. It seems like that is kind of like he had a collection from all around. It's not just like staple supplies that he gets imported over and over.
Okay. Well, so Nordo probably spends like the early part of the afternoon going through the kitchen and taking all the NSS stuff out and like carrying it out front, making a pile.
Yeah, and there's a lot. And when you're done, there's not a lot left in the stores of this kitchen. But
Right. And then once he can sort of take stock of what actual food is here, he'll make what the best meal he can out of it, although I'm sure it'll be kind of rough.
Yeah.
And then I will bring a plate to Flick, along with whatever his favorite cocktail is. Which Nordo would probably know, Isaac don't. Wherever he's at, I guess
Is
he's
it a
playing.
Rosie Palmer?
sounds like
It's a Rosie Palmer.
he might be in the master bedroom, kind of doing some jazzy piano stuff.
A Rosie Palmer is when you take an Arnold Palmer and you put raspberry schnapps in it.
Ooh.
There we go.
Ooh.
It's very fancy.
That might
That's
be Neo's new favorite, not so
Right?
fancy drink.
It's pretty good, but it's definitely not a cocktail.
Uh-huh.
I assume Flick's is like 2 fingers of white rum. But anyway,
It's probably like, yeah, that or sex on the beach because he's feeling prissy today.
perfect.
Next on the beach, a prissy drink?
Absolutely.
But all prissy drinks are really strong, so that's kind of.
Oh,
Truth.
what makes it a prissy drink? The name?
It has fruit flavors to it, so
Oh,
it's
but-
not. It doesn't taste like bread.
Doesn't taste
Oh.
like bread, dog.
I don't understand why alcohol tastes like bread.
If it doesn't taste like gasoline or bread, you're a bitch.
Oh wow, that's actually really easy to make. I'm gonna go make one of those later.
Anyway, Nordo brings a plate of probably not that great looking food and a nice looking cocktail. Looks like. So say, just wanted to apologize.
It's all right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drag you into it. I've been frustrated with Nomad for a while, and that spell with him messing with those people was just the last straw for me.
Yeah. He said that about using magic to change their opinions. That kind of freaks me out a little bit. I mean, I know sometimes, like Moat uses magic to make somebody do something for a second they wouldn't normally, but changing the whole way someone thinks for the whole year, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. I mean, I get that why he did it. He did it because he thought he was doing what was right for the city, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he had good reasons, and I don't quite understand all the politics of it, but if it ends up as more people in the city get food and water than did before, then I guess it's all for the best. But
right. Suppose the ends justify the means.
on that note, like I said, sorry if I messed up some sort of deal you were gonna make or had something
No.
going on. It's just a sore subject for me, and I let my feelings get the best of me.
That's all right. That totally makes sense. I mean, Nomad affected what they do mentally, but slavery's worse, probably. I mean, you're physically affecting what they do, and in doing so, you're mentally affecting what they do.
Still, like you said, ends and means and all that, and if much as I can't stand King, I don't trust him half as far as I could throw him, which is pretty damn far.
Yeah, I'd like to see that though. I think his head might be a little, um, that's a big word. It might make him fall.
I'd like to see it
Top
too,
heavy?
but still, if having him on our side could help a few other people what are in bad situations or what are being held as slaves out of trouble, then I don't need to be. I shouldn't let my feelings get in the way of getting the work done that we need to get done. So, you're right.
We'll solve it eventually. I mean, I know you want to go tear some shit up, and I'm your friend, and I think it's the right thing to do too. Just we have a lot going on right now.
Yeah, there's quite a bit on the plate. You
Thanks, Nordo. It's no problem. I forgive you. I hope you'll forgive me for possibly going a little far today.
No, that's all right. Like I said, there's a lot going on. We just spent the last 4 days flying halfway across the world just trying to gather up all our families so nobody gets killed by dragons or worse. We're all on edge. I think we'll feel better once we. I hate to put it this way, but put an axe in somebody what deserves it.
Right. Well, cheers to that then. Thanks again.
Sure thing.
Gale wakes up to the tail end of this conversation. Toto is curled at the foot of the bed, just keeping a watchful eye and ear out for everything. And there's some footsteps crunching back from Moat as he makes his way in. Nomad, what have you been doing?
I've been investigating this book place with Detect Magic up because I'm trying to find magic books.
Excellent. You are able to quickly find that there are about 18 magic books in here. Give me an investigation check.
Sure.
I'm also going to be helping look around his room for books
Sure.
of interest.
Hit me.
Just 18. 33 is your...
Excellent.
Attaboy.
1833. Of the 18 magical books that you find in here, you find that, double checking, 15 of them are some form of, like, not super exciting magic. A few of them or they're like illusions, so that they have these illusory images that pop up, and they act out scenes like a picture book, and they're really fucking cool. But they aren't like magical in the sense of like they let you cast spells or they let you do like special things. They're clearly just expensive magical books that are pretty to look at. And then a few of them are just magically self-cleaning, or they have simply been enchanted to be more durable. You can tell that 2 or 3 of them are durable versions of books that have been signed by their original authors. They're probably very valuable to the right buyer. It seems that almost everything here is fiction, but there is a collection of some nonfiction as well. However, you are able to find 3 books, all of which appear to be part of a set. They are all written in Draconic, and they all ring up as magical, and they all have some transmutation on them.
Cool. Ace, do you see any secret text in any of these?
I will have to glance through them, but I can take a look.
No problem. I'll identify these 3, the set.
All right.
Do you have another pearl?
Let's see.
Because I could do it too.
That would be very helpful. Can we share a pearl? I only have the one, I think.
I think we have to have a pearl. Well, I mean, we can also probably just run it down and get it at one point.
Yeah, we can go grab one in town later.
I'll look through books and see if I can find any secret codes or secret messages or just anything that's being covered by secrets.
Excellent. You kind of do a closer look with that investigation check, looking for any sort of secret codes or symbols or anything. And there's such a massive volume here that this would be a several days long project to look through all of them for signs of secret codes. However, following leads for things that look the most interesting and the most likely to potentially contain secrets. You find that there are things like art albums with manually drawn sketches in some of them, and that seems like a good place to look for, like custom-made things. But you don't find anything in any of those. You find a few that are handwritten recipe books, and that looks a little suspicious, and you study them closely, and you don't see any signs of anything hidden in any of those. A lot of the others are not quite... So mass manufacturing is a strong word for anything written in this time period. But at the very least, they are standard issue. They don't appear to be custom made, and so it's unlikely for those to have any sort of secret codes as well. So with your first nights of study, you don't find any sort of secret codes or anything in any of this stash of books. Let's see. With the 33, though, you would notice that there is a lot of foot traffic that leads to the western wall, and seemingly kind of stops or shuffles around there. It seems indicative to you that there is probably some sort of hidden passageway along that western wall.
So meta, I really want Flick to reveal it because I feel like it'll be way more satisfying.
Legit.
So
you can probably get a hunch that there probably is an abnormal amount of traffic in that direction. But with a 33, you're not quite able to figure out the mechanism.
Are you doing stuff in the room with all the books?
Yep, we've been here for 30 minutes.
Oh shit! Damn it, that was a wrong drink, I guess. My bad. Let me help you. I'm feeling good about looking through stuff.
By all means. He's just continuing to identify.
All right, it's up to Flick how much he wants to sell this or not. We all know what's going on meta. With a 5, you're actually pretty confident that you would not have found it on your own, but because you know what to look for, you do kind of find a spot that is just a little bit raised along the bottom edge of that western wall. And with some fiddling, you feel like you could get a claw under there, and you can see that there's just a tiny little copper lever that can be kind of switched right behind the wallpaper. And when you do that, there is a thunk, a very tinny click, and you can see a tiny seam form along that western wall that looks like it could be kind of popped open. And yeah, with your thieves' tools, you're able to do that with no trouble at all. You guys watch as Flick kind of fishes out some tools, and you are able to get the mechanism to go. You do find that even having had it pointed out to you, it's a difficult mechanism to get to work, but you do handily get it done over the course of about 10 minutes.
There we go.
how drunk is he doing this? Is he
work.
appear to be sober, or is he just falling over himself drunk, just opening mysterious passageways?
If this magic item I'm crafting goes right, he's very drunk, but he's good.
It's like an amulet of anti-alcohol poisoning or something?
I'm modifying the compass to be like pirate captain, and it's going to lower their resistance to alcohol, but like give them advantage on con saves to avoid being sick.
There we go.
Excellent.
And then he just goes to a drinking contest with everyone.
Does it work like Jack Sparrow's compass and point to what you want most?
Did you like read my message? Because I've started typing that up.
I didn't.
Immediately. I had that. Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
that I assumed.
It points to the nearest booze.
I mean, if
Doesn't that
that's
actually
what
happen in the
hard
movies
wa-
at one point?
no.
It like
It
points
does.
to the rum bottle.
Oh, does it? Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
More than anything, he just wants to be drunk.
Also, when does this crafting session happen? Because the crafting session for my spear better happen first.
It already has, and I'm pretty sure I gave you your spear. Hang on.
You gave
I
us
think-
for
I
it
don't
to
think-
happen like
I
2
think-
weeks ago. But
I don't think you did.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I've lied to you. I'll make sure to get that done. I'm sorry. I thought I already had it, which is why I
Yeah.
didn't do it this week.
Oh yeah.
I do still owe
very
you a
prob-
few things too, Nomad.
Yeah.
There's a big old list of stuff for you.
Yeah. For crafting to have gone properly during those days, I wouldn't have had time to research earlier. So let's remove like 25 of the Void Dragon Heart project.
Sure.
That's what I got last time.
That makes
For
sense.
the 8 hours of crafting.
Yep. But you guys can absolutely still send your crafting things because they will almost certainly get done soon.
Yeah.
Before I jump to Ace real quick, let's wrap up with Flick. As you finish up with your Thieves' Tool, and that copper lever is clicked over to the side, the seam splits, and with a gentle push, you can kind of push both of these heavy walls back straight down the middle. And you are able to see that there is a room in here that contains a safe and 2 shelves, one on the right, one on the left.
ooh.
This is what I was waiting for.
There is more magic in here. You can see that on the right, there is an array of spell scrolls, it appears. And on the left, there is a single large tome that appears to be magical.
Good job, Flick. You found the mother lode. The mother book.
You
I thought it looked weird. The wall should have gone further that way. So
The room does seem smaller than that's on.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to check for traps.
probably a good idea because I would step on them.
Investigation, I'm assuming?
Yes, give me an investigation check.
God.
Well, god damn it. As everybody starts to see this door, these doors swing open, you are cautiously looking around in all directions. And you do see that sitting at the very center of the top of the room, there is a little bit of an indent, like a cup-shaped indent, and there is a tiny, tiny little red ruby that is kind of embedded into the ceiling. And I don't know,
I have also detect magic up.
Okay, with Detect Magic up, you can tell that there is evocation on that ruby. And a little trace of abjuration, but mostly evocation.
It's probably going to be a fireball.
Also, just to remind you, I always have detect magic up.
Absolutely.
Look out, a trap.
Oh.
Oh, well, that really is
Don't
blatantly
oversell it.
obvious, isn't it? It's just right there.
Yeah, there's looks like there's a way I can easily deactivate it.
Boy,
Or does it look better to just avoid?
with a 34, you're not immediately able to tell any way to deactivate it. However, you can tell, based on some of the dust patterns and footprints in this very lightly used room, that typically the doors are quickly closed and nobody steps in the center of the room. You see that all of the traffic seems to skirt along the edges of the room in here. You actually can see that there are a lot of scuffs at about what would have been waist high for Mr. White, where probably like belts or scabbards kind of scrape along the wall.
Gotcha. Okay, so it looks like this is a place where you want to hug the wall. I'm going in. I don't scoot. Well, I mean, I would probably just walk like normal because he's just so fucking tiny.
All right, on
Yeah.
the
Possible,
northern shelf, you can
perhaps.
see. Or yeah, what was that?
Yeah, is it possible perhaps to just mage hand the scrolls out so they don't like burn just in case?
Certainly possible.
Well, I think the problem would be if you go into the middle of the room, they're going to blow up. Also, I have a bag of holding here. I can just put them in there. They'd be safer in there.
Probably safe not to have things in the middle. Maybe it's just a sensor for sight and not like
That's-
creatures.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking stage to the sides. What do we see on the shelves?
All right, on the northern shelf, you can see that there are 3 spell scrolls. each of which is sitting on kind of like a very nice rack, very expensive kind of storage. It looks like almost like a trophy rather than a storage container. It looks like this was a prized possession. And on the south, you can see that there is a single very, very heavy tome. It is probably almost like 20 pounds, leather bound, and just this massive, massive book. And then against the back wall, you can see that there is a fairly ornate safe. Looks like it's made of iron or perhaps something else.
Is there any writing on the book that I can see without touching it? Or is it what type of magic is it giving off, if any?
It is giving off some divination magic. And let me double check my notes real quick. Let's see, what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Primordial, Thieves' Cant, Undercommon, Orcish, Elf, Dwarf, Gnome, Deep Speech, and Kuatoa.
Good lord. Okay, as you are looking at it, you don't see any sort of writing on any of the pages that seems intelligible. And in fact, at first it looks like from a distance that there is writing on it, but when you get closer to try to read it and potentially sort out what language it's in, you realize that all of the scribbles are in this kind of multicolored, like this metallic ink almost that reflects and sparkles like a diamond. It's almost like the ink was used to initially write words or letters, but over time it bled out into just these fuzzy splotches that have taken on this crystal-like color. Almost like the trail of a flail snail, if you're familiar with that. Although you can tell that it is not really that, it just has a similar appearance.
Gotcha. Does my true sight see anything?
With your true sight, you don't notice any differences between its real form and what you see.
Alright, and just because he's read a book or two, does it look like this is like weight sensitive, and if he pulls it off, it's going to release a giant boulder or anything?
Give me an investigation check.
Do you want me to roll a new one?
Sure.
Okay. The lowest I can roll is a 24.
Yeah, with the 24, you look it over very carefully, and you seem pretty confident that nothing about either of the shelves is rigged in any way. You can see that there are indications that this has been lifted off and put back on without any precautions a couple times.
Alright, I'm going to tug on my hat and it's become a ski mask and then pull out some gloves. I'm going to pick it up, put it in my satchel. All stealthy like.
Excellent. It is like 20 pounds. That might be a small issue for Ace, but with a little help, you're able to do it.
I can probably just push it off the shelf into the bag.
Perfect.
And then I'll also scooch around, get the spell scrolls as well, before taking a look at the safe.
All right, give me 3 luck checks.
All very mediocre. Well, actually, 1 mediocre, 3 not good.
All right.
2 not good.
Upon later investigation, or you might recognize some of them immediately, there is a scroll of planar ally.
I love that spell so much.
Oh my god. A scroll of simulacrum, which I'm sure I won't regret.
Ooh.
Spicy meatball.
Give it.
And a scroll of modify memory.
Oh my god.
Ooh, give it.
There's a few of my favorite spells in there.
And then finally there's the safe.
Does it look like it's voice activated?
Give me one more investigation check for the safe to kind of look it over. With the 26 as you get closer, at first it appears to be kind of a standard safe. It's got a dial on the front and a bar that you turn like a wheel to pop it open. But with a keen eye and careful study, you realize that the front of it is entirely coated in a thin coat of dust. It looks like the front of it, including the dial and the wheel, haven't been touched in a very, very long time. And instead, you can see that one of the sides of it, the one that points towards the north side of the room, has a few like fingerprints, like it has been interacted with a few times.
Alright, guess I'll look further on the side panel to see if there's any way to open it up.
Yeah, as you kind of keep looking on that northern panel, you can tell that there are a couple of slots along the right side. There's like a false panel on the right side of the safe. And it looks like the actual opening for the safe is on that false side. It does still require a key, as far as you can tell. It's just a very, very discreet kind of keyhole.
Oh, the key to the... I guess we'll have telepathy. The safe in here needs a key. Do we have the key to the treasure?
You guys had two keys that you're aware of. There's one large one that goes to all of the manor's main doors, and then there's a smaller one that...
Didn't we take all the envelopes?
as far as I know,
No.
you did not take all of them. You took just the manor and the oasis, and then you ended up letting the other people keep the ones that they earned.
Okay. Did you say this did not look like I could pick it easily? At all?
It might be pickable. It looks, for as best as you can tell, like there is actually a key slot there. It's just disguised to look like a mechanical seam. It's a false. It's like a false side to the safe that is the actual real door to it.
Gotcha. I guess I'll just go ahead and try to open it then.
Sure. Give me some thieves' tools.
Man, I just thought of something really mean I could do for a campaign, and I'm gonna do it now.
Just do inside the hams. I don't like making a new one.
Sure. With a 27, it takes a few minutes, but you're able to determine that the safe is pickable, and with about, 10 minutes of work or so, you're able to finally get it to clap open. And when you do, you take a look inside and are perhaps surprised to see that the only thing inside of this safe is a stack of 6 clay tiles that are all stacked one on top of each other on one of the shelves. And on each of these tiles, there are etchings that look kind of like a maze.
Ooh. Well, let me see that.
I was probably just gonna bring them out there. I'll
Okay.
just bring everything out here now.
Gale.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's that puzzle eye at? What did you do with it?
Toto's got it.
Toto needs not got it. I need it for a second.
I mean, that's his eye.
Open real wide, Toto.
Can I rub something on his eye then?
I guess so. I can take it out. Just
No, I mean, it's
don't-
not that.
just don't look. It's embarrassing.
Okay.
We're like, okay, open wide, buddy, and I'm just gonna
Let
fold
me
my out.
double check a thing real quick, because this has changed since the last time you guys saw it.
Yeah, he's about to turn into a blender and chop my hand off as I try and take this thing away.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if this okay, hang on, let's see.
Sorry if I just made you
Are
lose
the-
your hand.
Oh, it's okay.
Are
This
the books
does
done,
happen
by the way?
eventually.
Drunk Flick is very excited, and this probably isn't how this works at all, and I'm gonna feel stupid afterwards.
Heck, are the books done?
Yes, you are working on identifying the books, and I will let you know as soon as I got them. Just a second.
Scroll. I hope they're stat books. Hopefully unused.
Probably golem book in there.
Maybe that's what the big one is.
Ooh, maybe it's the book that lets us know the price of our souls. Then we can we can fight over who's most expensive.
It's been a whole session doing that. I love it.
I mean, it's like the cube that labeled us.
It is.
Yeah, mine's apparently 0. No soul.
No soul.
All right.
I have no soul or bones.
Or bounce.
Toto is very compliant the entire time. He is cooperative, and he wants to. He seems like he wants to let you take this eye out. However, as you begin to go through the normal process of just kind of uninstalling it, you
scared.
do find that it is difficult to remove. You are able to quickly determine, because you're an artificer and a skilled arcanist, this eye is cursed, and it's going to take some magic to remove it in the attunement and pull it out of Toto.
Well,
I got this. I got this. I got this.
Specifically,
All right, you took
Flex
this
got that.
explicitly for this.
Yeah, I took this explicitly because I'm just a cursed individual, and I'm always going to be cursed no matter what. I don't remember what level spell this is.
I think it's third, pretty sure. But you have to upcast it anyway, so you know it happened. You cast Remove Curse. And as soon as it goes, you can see that the blood that had begun to kind of pool around the maze-like etchings around the eyes suddenly just kind of smokes off. The eye seems to blink shut, the iris closes, leaving it just totally white on all sides. And then the eye begins to roll out with a little bit of pressure. It seems that you have temporarily given the ability to unattune and remove the maze eye.
Gross. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Ace, give me the things. Give me the things. The maze tiles, whatever they are.
Do we want to do this in a different room in case something explodes?
No.
Where else would you do a puzzle other than a library?
Well, this isn't really a library. This is a cascading dump of books.
It's a secret library. There are 2 whole bookshelves.
Yeah, there's an exploding thing. I guess you could do it in there. If it blows up.
I'll do it outside.
You walk outside and Nordo's burning and us that stuff.
Yup.
What happened to Moat? Why is he injured?
He's sad.
Yep.
He's sad.
Oh, that's why.
He's
I
sad
didn't-
because he knows part of him wants it, and he knows it would disappoint Nordo. So instead, he's just sad.
Absolutely.
You walk out, but you walk out to him burning this, and he hands you a plate of like catfish, pickles, and corn because it's all this place had in terms of actual food.
Thanks, Nordo.
Oh, could I get one of those fish? Also, hi. This
Oh,
is
hey.
fun.
Yeah, no, fuck this place. Fuck our food.
Can I say it smells good? I mean, even things that don't taste good smell good when you
It
burn them.
does smell really goddamn good. I'm worried the smell is gonna curse me too, so we might want to stay a little bit back from it. Actually,
Okay.
Can I just lick some of it?
don't lick it. That's gonna burn you. Well, I guess it won't burn you. You're good with fire, but it will curse you.
We will get curse-free, slavery-free food eventually.
I got
Did
it
we
right
ever
here.
try
It's
remove
just-
curse on that?
I think we did.
We did, and it removed all the taste and just.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
the problem is
Okay.
there's like chemicals inside of it.
There's Oz flu in there. But there's plenty of actually there isn't plenty. There were only like 2 catfish. Everybody else is eating something else.
we
Nordo's
have a-
plate just has salt on it and nothing else.
Look, we're limited options.
Good southern diet.
Like, go back to the ship for food if you want. Just figure this is our house now. I better cook what we got. There's catfish in the fridge.
Nordo, would you like?
order the groceries on like, your cart or something? Would that'd be good?
I wonder if they have that.
Galderdash.
Galderdash.
Okay.
You would know that Galderdash is a popular service in very, very large cities. They almost certainly don't have it here. It is reserved exclusively for the elite and the nobility.
Because it's a 25
We're in a
gold delivery
mansion.
fee.
Yeah,
They've got a. Okay, fine.
25 gold.
it is very much something that is only used by the incredibly wealthy.
But I just gave a guy 200 gold to fuck off. Does
That's
that not
true.
make me incredibly wealthy?
I had to come back from the kitchen prep to say, like, if Galderdash is gonna deliver to any place in Saltville, it's gonna be Mr. White's
Oasis.
fucking manor. Yeah.
If you don't think Mr. White has ordered Galderdash before, you are wrong.
Check his phone book. It's
How do we
probably
get
in
in
here
contact?
somewhere.
What's the Galderdash phone number in his room?
Nordo, give me an investigation check, or anybody that wants to can go look for a Galderdash,
I'm
Like how-
identifying.
like how to order Galderdash.
Right, while you do that, I'm gonna go look inside the piano and make sure there wasn't anything weird in there. I think I would have heard it when I was playing the piano though, but now I gotta double check.
Playing chopsticks.
He just pulls out a giant bottle of booze he hid in the piano.
I mean,
Nordo, perhaps there's fish you can get from the Oasis.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that's where they caught some of these up from, but then I got distracted making a bonfire.
Should we use the bonfire to roast fish, or will
I
we
will-
make a
Still-
better slave-free fire?
I'm just a little concerned that some of that smoke and stuff coming out there is going to be filled with poison magic too. I don't know how
Oh.
poison magic works.
Well, if it's poison, a lot of it is neutralized in heat if it's destroyed, but some of it just oxidizes and adds to the air.
That's how we get that nice smoky smell.
Maybe we should all just go back inside, actually.
Smoky.
Smoky.
I don't know.
There's how it looks like when there's someone burnt toast and there's just slightly smoke in the air.
I forgot we have a drunk icon. Haha, I'm drunk. Drunk status effect.
We did it. Alright. While you guys are racing outside, Nomad has finished identifying the book. The large one, the one that Ace stuffed into the bag of holding, you learn is, let me make sure I get this right, the Book of Three Fates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on the card for it, but once per long rest, while attuned to it, you can begin to view three separate fates, three branches of the future. For the next minute, you behave and act normally, you and only you, although everybody around you as well. And a minute of time passes with you acting as you would normally act and everybody else reacting in the way that they would normally react. At the end of a minute, it resets. You do it a second time. You can do different behavior the second time. You can get different outcomes. At the end of that minute, you get a third shot. After that third shot, you go back to reality, and reality picks up right at that point. It basically lets you preview three separate channels of 1 minute of action. And yeah, kind of same. I'm
assuming that
responsible with it.
I'm going to assume that it takes some time to get it going. Would be the way to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You have to read it for 10 minutes to start it or something.
Yeah, I'm still working on the card, but I assume that it is it's not going to be an action to activate. It won't be something that could reasonably be done in combat.
Could I
3 hours.
Could I easily run to town real quick and grab 100 gold pearl?
feel like
Yeah, Voila Viola's still in business, and she's happy to sell it to you. In fact, I'll give you a discount, sweetie. You've been so good to me.
Hey, little orc.
Oh, well, thank you. Yep. Yes.
While you're out, could you just grab some food and make sure it didn't come from NSS?
Can do. Do you also have some food?
I'm sorry, I only sell jewelry here, honey.
Okay. Thank you for the pearl.
Yeah,
What?
she'll give you for 95 gold.
Where did I come from for a second there?
Um,
And then I guess I'll go grab. I don't know how much gold worth of food. 4 gold worth of food. Is that a lot?
Norda doesn't know the
Yes.
value of money.
How
but
much can
he'll
Ace
give you-
carry?
yeah, that's
I have
$320 worth of food. It's
I
like
have
world
a
groceries.
bag of holding. I have a bag of holding.
Oh, there we go.
Well, we do
Then
have
lots
8
of food.
people though. That's
Norda hands you 9 gold.
9 gold and food.
It's a lot.
I don't.
that's a
I don't-
lot.
I don't know if I can carry all that, Nordo.
I guess I could just come with you.
Yeah,
I'll
I
just
wanted
come
to.
with
I
you.
was actually going to do it real quick, just so I could help Nomad identify things, make it faster. But I guess it shouldn't take much more time, right?
Just
Remember,
somewhere
we
on the
only
way.
need 5 people's worth of food.
Yeah,
we?
Norda's not gonna shop.
Oh wait, you don't.
Ace and I count as one person, probably,
That's
and
true.
Nomad
Okay.
doesn't need.
But Nordo counts as 2 probably, and Moat might. Moat and Vasu both strike me as big eaters.
I thought you guys were monks. You guys don't need to eat.
No, they don't need to pay for
one
their
of them
food.
doesn't need to eat.
I think I technically don't anymore.
Oh wait,
Also-
do we
Like-
have
Also, Nordo, keep some of
have
your money.
lots of shit, though?
I'll chip in. How about this? I'll pay for the food for today, since you're always paying for it.
Well, I appreciate that, little orc. I'm doing just fine though. Got everything I need.
Yeah, I know, but we're a group. We should share the bird.
Fair enough. You buy, I'll carry. Don't just
Aha,
stop
I
at
like that
some,
idea.
Some food stall between here and Viola's and just get something to eat.
Yeah, you're able to find something, and you're able to find something that isn't tainted by NSS as best as you can tell, too. You probably have to kind of swing over toward the northeast side of town, but you would find a few shops over there that kind of avoid the main commercial district and everything that comes out of it.
Cool.
How much are we gonna buy in food? Just do actually 9 gold, because that sounds fine to me.
Yeah, figure probably. I don't really know what stuff costs. I guess that's hard. Norda shops for food enough times. He knows how much to spend on a dinner for all of us. So I'm guessing 9 gold for enough for all of us, and the fact that we're feeding all of our families and shit too now.
Yeah, you always can splurge
Yeah,
a little bit.
that is
Bolster
plenty
some
for
business here with gold, and
for
then
a very nice meal.
you know what? We'll make it 10. Mostly because it's easier to
Perfect.
math that way.
All right. The other books that you identify, you learn that all 3 of them are a set. They are collectively one item, and it is known as the Archive of the Precious Ginny. There is the Book of the Ruby Gem, the Book of the Topaz Gem, and the Book of the Sapphire Gem. It is essentially a series of ritual books, and each person can complete the ritual by spending a tremendous amount of gold and also sacrificing some appropriate gemstones, typically matching the book that you use. And in exchange, it is said, according to your identification, that you will be blessed by the appropriate djinn, who will improve you in a manner similar to their own prowess. The Ruby Djinn was known to be a strong and mighty warlord, the Topaz Djinn was known to be a trickster and a sneak, and the Sapphire Djinn was known to be a wise leader.
Okay. So is there a limit to how many times you can do it?
Yes, once you are allied with one, the other 2 will reject you. You will not be able to do more than one.
And is it multiple people can ally themselves with one?
Yes, as long as you're willing to pay the tithe and make a bond with the djinn inside the book, then you can do it as many times as needed. Or like each person can do it once, is what I should say.
What is? I'm assuming the book doesn't have like a TLDR in the back cover that says, by the way, this means that you're selling your soul or something.
With an identification, Nomad would know because of the way it's written. It's clearly written in a way that sounds very enticing. It sounds promising. It sounds like a sales pitch. However, give me an Arcana check.
The lowest I can roll is 12.
Ooh, what's the lowest you can roll, Nomad? Is it that 20?
Yeah. No, the lowest I can roll is an 18.
Okay. With that 20, everything seems in order. There is actual transmutation magic on the book. It seems to have all of the necessary components that would actually be required to potentially permanently modify someone to be more powerful. You don't see any obvious catches or gotchas, is what I'm getting at.
Gotcha. Could I use my calligraphy supplies to find if it's written in a way that's trying to trick me?
Sure, that's a compelling argument. You're very smart and you have writing proficiency. Give me a check.
It's literally also how I talk.
Yeah.
If we want, I'll just do it, and I can
Yeah.
fall on the sword for everybody.
Kale continuing the trend. That would be
It's
very
true. You
funny.
get a new bodysuit anyway. Who cares?
Exactly. Not that anybody knows about that.
Of course.
Seems
With the 22, you can tell that this has been translated a couple times. It's written in multiple languages, but the oldest of which is Primordial. It seems, and also with the 22, the closer you get to the original language, in the original language, the entire thing is written like, if you bring me this gift, I will bestow upon you this boon, this blessing. And then it gets translated a few times and it says, if you bring this book a gift, the book will bring you a blessing. It seems very much like it was kind of orated or dictated and then translated a few times. However, even going all the way back, do you speak Primordial? Or do you have anyone to translate for you? You speak it, man. Okay,
Primordial.
excellent. With your native understanding of Primordial and your writing proficiency and your intelligence, you get the sense that this was almost certainly the result of somebody making a wish. These books are the wish granted, in other words, is what it was. So this is not a genie that you're dealing with directly. Somebody went to a genie, made a wish, and got this set of books out of it. In other words, there's still a genie involved. There's always a chance of trickery, but it seems
would it be 3
displaced a little bit.
genies?
It sounds like the trickery was that they wished to have 3 things enhanced, and he made 3 books in which each of them could enhance that, but once he chose one, he couldn't get the others. If I had to guess.
Seems like it.
And I'm still working on cards for all these, but they're in your inventory. And then also, when you return with all the food, you do see that they've pried out Toto's eye and are playing with a bunch of these clay little tablets that look kind of like this.
Oh, it's a water puzzle.
Okay.
You don't have to like sit here and mess with them right now, but that's what they look
Yeah.
like.
I'll be right back with these books real quick. And Nomad goes to the ship.
I was hoping the grooves on the eye would match up with the grooves on the tablets.
Give me an investigation
Why-
check.
Why are we taking him to the ship, Nomad?
I'm going to go to the secret space.
To do what? To just put him away?
No, to do an experiment.
Well, what's this experiment?
To see if I can increase the power of these books.
Maybe don't mess with genie magic.
I didn't say what they were yet.
Oh, you didn't tell us what they were?
Yeah, just that they're powerful.
Well, what do they do?
Don't you tell me what I can and can't do with my soul.
They increase your... The wording is strange. You make an offering to the owner of the... Not even the owner. What would I call this? There are entities tied to this book that when you make an offering, will increase your gestures to the entire body. An aspect of you.
What?
One
beings?
each.
And you don't have to read them?
You do. Actually, it doesn't say it has to be read, right?
No, and I'm gonna get you like the exact instructions for the ritual.
And what kind of entities are tied to these books?
Jinns, I believe.
What do I know about jinns?
Give me Arcana or History. Either one's fine.
Are they humanoid? Elemental.
They're
I don't
elemental.
think.
Could I sell you on religion?
Sure, you'll get slightly different results. Probably weaker results.
Okay. It's a much better chance of getting information, though.
I'm a warlock. What I know?
You might.
How about we can talk to Vasu? He literally has a Jinn
I
patron.
was gonna say I almost certainly know something about them. Hi, I'm back from the kitchen again.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, you could definitely give me an Arcana check, and you could do it with advantage, Vasu.
Couldn't you just ask your GD friend?
Yeah, like,
Eh?
hey, what's up? Oh,
Ace, most of the stories that you would know are that the gods recommend you don't fuck with the Ginny. They are extraplanar, they're very powerful. It's said that some of the most powerful Ginny are even on par with the gods within their own realms, although they become significantly weaker when they come to the material plane. They are typically described as tricks and deceivers, and that they shouldn't be messed with, and that there's always a price that has to be paid. However, there is one god in particular that really likes them, and her name is Bass. She warns that they do usually come with some sort of a twist, but she mentions that you should embrace the change, you should embrace the chaos, and that typically, as long as you're willing to be flexible, you'll end up better for it. You'll end up in a better place than where you started, as long as you're willing to be flexible and understand that there's going to be a downside or a detriment. Vasu, with your understanding, is that the Ginny are kind of like the elemental plane's version of humanoid. It is when bonds of sympathy overlap with the elemental planes instead of the material plane. They're typically born into soul-bearing creatures called elementals or Ginny. And there are different subtypes. There's like Ifriti and what are the other two? I should know this, but I don't. Dao and whatever the other Marids.
the Merid, Dao, Ifriti.
Yeah. And they're really not so different from the mortals on the material plane, except that they have a much stronger connection to the elements because they're from the elemental planes. But they have kingdoms and societies and people and rulers just like we do. They tend to be very inherently tied to magic. It's very unusual for any elemental person or any Ginny to not have some sort of magical ability. You would know that they're not all inherently bad. The reason that there's a lot of a bad rap for them is because when one leaves their home, it's usually because they're either on some grand quest or they're looking to like stir up trouble. They're looking for a profit somehow. And a lot of the time they do this quest because they are on a semi-mandatory trip to give away some of their power, but they do so reluctantly. It's something that they have to do, not necessarily something that they want to do. It's kind of like a coming-of-age thing, except it happens cyclically over several hundreds or even thousands of years. Who else rolled? Flick. Flick, you would have probably a closer understanding to what Ace knows. Again, you would know that a lot of the time the Ginny that appear on the material plane are doing so for a profit. They're doing so to get something out of it. and because of that, it can be really difficult to trust any of the ones that you interact with. However, you would know with a natural 20, like there are people
Plus
that have done
4 from my Pact of the Talisman.
Yeah, 24, nat 20 for 24. You would know that there are definitely stories of people who have successfully lawyered their way into a successful wish with a genie and walked away from it and were better for it. It is common. The common sense application is the more ridiculous you ask for, the more likely they are to like fuck you over for it. But if you ask for something that's fairly mundane, they're less likely to screw with you because they kind of view it as like, oh, thank God, I did my chore. It was easy. I didn't have to give away a lot of my power. I can let this person go and be on with my life. So in other words, the less that you ask for, the more likely it is to go well.
Okay. Neat. I explained that. But I'll just let you go with his explanation because I don't want to explain it again.
Yeah, and I assume that you guys can kind of all share your perspectives there.
I didn't even know genies was real. I thought that was just from stories and stuff like my dad used to tell.
No, they're real. They can be quite dangerous.
Also, just kind of gives you a look.
They're just elementals.
Didn't we already fight one?
Like the boss genie.
I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, we did fight genies.
Wait, is
Well,
this like that mobile game and you're like the level 5 genie boss and then the other guy's level 500 genie boss and he just comes and beats you up? Or are you the level 500 genie boss and we're about to be the level 5 genie?
Oh, this is that one zombie game's bathroom genie. Is he good? Is he evil? We don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Were you a good genie or a bad genie? Baby.
So what's is there any drawback that's obvious, Nomad?
Not obviously, but I'm wary of what price you must pay. So I'm going to do some experiments to see just what we can do with this, and also stress test a certain machine.
Insight check. I'm going to see if he's planning on. I'm trying to get insight on whether Nomad is trying to just actually do experiments for pure knowledge or trying to use these on himself in a ruse of experimentation.
He doesn't have any deception. You immediately get that he's trying to do some experiments. Not for himself, specifically to help the party. Your passive alone dictates that Nomad does everything for himself and the party.
Yeah.
But if it has anything to do, it also helps others.
Who's involved in your experiment?
Literally himself and the machine.
Okay.
But also he asked Ace if he could contact his dad.
Oh, about the machine. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Now?
Just ask him if he wishes for it to be stress test. Or rather, for his consent, since he did build it.
Okay, I'm trying to think of a better way. Okay, I got it. Also, in fact, did you determine how this actually works? Is it like a radio?
Still
or is
writing it
just
up. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Experiments happen after.
What should I pretend for this contact right now? Should I just plan like a sending, or should I just talk it out?
You have that card, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like that's what I was asking back about. It's like, did he determine the rules for the card to call Joker?
Oh yes, let me find it. Hang on, I did dig that up. You have it in your inventory. It's right here. You basically get 1 minute of call, and you can use it up to 4 times per week.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Aw. My dad gave me my first cell phone,
But
but it only calls him.
This tracks.
Is there a way to put numbers in it?
No, it's a Joker. The other cards have the numbers on it.
Like our numbers. Like, call us as well.
All right, I'm gonna call him. Hey, I have a quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
So we were wondering, we needed to like run some tests on your machine to kind of see what all it can do, because we'll probably get to use it soon. Also, did you know that it was called the Semblance? This isn't the Semblance Engine, is it? I forgot if you determined that. Okay. Did you happen to ever heard of it called the Semblance Engine?
I'd never heard that term before. What do you mean experiments? You guys aren't gonna like break it, are you?
That's not the plan.
Okay, what's the plan?
To see what it can do.
Yeah, tell him we're going to put a potentially very powerful item in it to see if it can replicate it.
We're going to try to replicate a powerful item.
Okay, all right. You're gonna put it in the tray. You're gonna pull the lever. You're gonna turn this dial and then that dial. No, don't turn it past 4. Okay. Hold the
Okay.
lever down, count to 5, and then release everything and open it up. Let it sit for a minute before you touch anything. And that's it. If that doesn't work, you put it right back in the painting, right? Don't do anything crazy.
Okay. And Ace was like writing down these instructions with his. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. I'll let you know how it turns out.
Did he give his consent?
Yes, and he gave us detailed instructions on how to make it work. He says, don't go above 4.
Above 4.
Yeah, don't go above 4. And he says, if it doesn't work, just put it right back in the painting. I think he means it might need immediate attention, and it being stuck in a time stasis will give him time to fix it as soon as possible.
Good warning. Would you like to be the one to do it?
Um,
Your fathers, after all.
yeah, I believe I could try that way, and you just don't get me in trouble.
We did ask permission.
We did, I know, but like I've heard stories of children breaking things.
It's all right. I don't think any parent has said yes. It's okay for you to break this machine.
That's probably not true.
Let me
All right.
scan my memories. Oh, it's
I guess-
happened twice.
I guess I will, after dropping off the food, go back with Nomad to help him with that.
Yeah. We get
All right.
the machine out of the canvas
All right.
and then give the books to Ace.
And then I'll help identify with everything else after we do the machine.
All right. You begin to follow these instructions to the letter. You place the stack of 3 books inside one of the trays. You close both of them. You begin to turn the appropriate dials, and you pull the lever. You count to 5. You release it. You open everything up, and you sit there and wait. And as soon as everything opens up, and there's this hissing steam that rolls out from both, even while you're waiting for a minute, you can see immediately that sitting in the opposite tray of this machine are 3 more books that look identical to the first set of books.
Would you like to identify those?
Which books did we copy?
These are the Genie books.
Right.
Okay. I guess I will help him identify these new ones. Sounds way worse than I thought. I thought we were copying the other magic book, the one that was divination.
Oh, the Fate one.
Yeah, we should maybe be careful with what all we decide to copy, though.
Of course. This machine isn't perfect, but this is a good way to test how it could be improved.
So his copier was a magic copier, not like a printing press. It just makes magic items.
It
It's
makes
supposed-
scrolls,
it's
as far
it's-
as you know.
Yeah, he made it so that it could copy spell scrolls and make new spell scrolls off of them without destroying the previous ones. Yeah, that's the original purpose for this.
Yeah, so we can have a lot of simulacrums.
Yeah, we could. Oh
But
no.
the problem is that it can only Norda or Nomad could even cast that spell.
I actually have it in, like, right now. I just need components. Which are
You
expensive.
can cast it on someone else.
I could, yeah. The problem is I can only cast it on one person. If I cast it again, the spell is dispelled. The others disappear.
Oh.
And the way Fex simulacrum rules are, a simulacrum can't cast simulacrum again to prevent something Lodigan did.
Yeah, I think that actually got nerfed rules as written too. Even after I did my own custom nerf, I think that it did eventually get like officially nerfed.
Did it? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll
Let's
double
look
check
it
it
up.
at some point, but
Either way, your rule says it doesn't do that. And that's what's important. Hey, the mazes were solved, I think.
Thank God
Yeah.
for other people doing puzzles.
Oh, the maze I helped. Oh, there were literally just mazes. I could have helped with that. Oh, well.
I want to see Drunk Flick with a marker.
I mean, all
solving-
you gotta do is put your hand on the right wall, and eventually you will get to the exit. You just gotta follow it all the way around. You just work on both sides, so you use each pathway twice. It makes sense.
I don't think that these have anything to do with any sort of magic item. I think this is just like a children's toy.
So notably, before you say that, you do notice that as you were kind of assembling all three of these, that once you snap all three pieces together for either one of these, they do seem to kind of magnetically hold together. You can tell that there's a little bit of magic that kind of snaps them together into a disc. Beyond that, nothing else seems to happen,
Yeah.
even when you kind of like trace a path along it.
Here, let me see.
Yeah, I grew up with magnets as a kid. I know what a toy is.
Well, I want to see if the maze eye lines up with it. I rolled for that earlier, and I don't think we ended up doing anything about it. I forget.
Here you go. Oh, kind of a maze eye.
Okay. I
Don't-
kind of want to roll the maze eye along it and see if the markings line up on it.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Sorry, I think you started to do this earlier and then we got sidetracked.
I think I did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where it was.
There's Arcana there. Okay, it's up there. It's at 15. As you compare, you're able to very quickly tell that they are not the same, and they don't seem to line up. The markings on the maze eye seem to follow a very like square-like grid, although they have some curvature because they're along a globe. Whereas this is definitely kind of a hexagonal grid. It looks to be a different style of maze.
Okay. Got excited for no reason. I'm sorry, Toto.
After a minute of waiting over by Joker's printing press, you see two identical-looking stacks of books. And with Detect Magic up, you can even see that there is a little bit of a trace on both of them of transmutation. Although with that Detect Magic up, you can see that the pile of books on the left, the original pile of book, seems to have a much weaker aura, and it seems to be almost kind of like dimly fading, like a light bulb that is about to burn out.
Oh, like it's transferring the magic?
It seems like a reasonable conclusion, although you can definitely tell it made an identical set of books to transfer the magic into.
Interesting. Ace, would you like to identify one of those new books, and I'll re-identify the first ones?
Sure. What's the chances of me getting cursed, you think?
Here's my theory. Mr. White wanted this machine made for a reason. I believe it was for a bunch of his books.
Maybe. Is he a big reader?
Seems like he collected it.
True.
Be able to replicate magical books and scrolls. That's a powerful asset.
Yeah, I mean, he did seem to have those 3 scrolls set aside. Pretty good ones, too. All right, now I'll get to work.
Yeah, we identify. Let's both identify the ruby ones. I'll do the original and you do the copy, and we'll see if there's anything different.
All right.
You guys sit down, spend 10 minutes, and begin to identify. Ace, when you identify the book, you learn basically exactly what Nomad learned when he first identified the original ones. You get the full identification of them, you learn how they are activated, the ritual, which I've almost finished, by the way. And it seems to be, as best as you can tell, exactly identical to how Nomad described the first set of books. Nomad, when you identify the original set of books, you find the same thing, but it is very quickly fading. There's information dropping out even as you're identifying it. Pieces of it are starting to wither. It appears to be a magic item that is rapidly decaying.
That's an interesting thing. If it's a powerful magic item, it seems the original loses its magic over time.
It seems it gets so powerful that when it
Yeah.
copies it over, the book knows, and the book will move to the new copy.
Perhaps the book knows, or perhaps the machine isn't quite as perfect just yet. I believe all the magic is in the new ones, and these older ones will be simply non-magical ones. We can attempt to do. I don't know if we have enough money to attempt the ritual before the magic fades.
Were we told about how much money it was?
No, well, soon. We're just waiting for Feck.
Oh, okay.
That'd be funny if you like wrote the books in a different language then transferred the magic over. Because then only people that could speak that language could use it.
Far speech.
I mean, or we can
Only
write our own language.
Let's make up our own language. Let's call it Wingdings.
Okay. And then we'll be the only ones who can use these books, so no one uses them for evil.
Well, the problem is we can each person can only use the books once, and you have to pick one of the three. But it does have
Right.
a cost each. I just don't know what the cost is yet. Well, I technically know, it's just not written yet.
But like, if we all use the books, then they're just sitting there, and anyone could just steal those and use them. But if
Yeah.
we translate them into this wingdings, then we don't have to worry about anyone else ever using them.
The
But what,
whole thing.
but what about the next apocalypse that happens? Those heroes might need them.
But by
Well, then
then, we'll have already ruled the world and taken over the world with wingdings. So wingdings will be the most common
You know,
language. So then they'll basically be in common.
Didn't
So
you just say you would have
who's
translated the books so they didn't get used for evil,
Right.
but
and then
then
jump to taking over the world?
no
No,
wingdings
we
is.
do it with good. It's good that we do it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, gotcha.
It's kind of
Well,
like how we almost took over Salt Bowl. We just do that with the whole world.
Salt bowl.
Manage everything. Salt
Yeah.
Bowl is really
But
hard
Salt
for me to
Bowl-
say.
Salt
Salt
Bowl.
Bowl. I
Salt
guess I've
Bowl.
never said it until now.
Salt
but
Bowl.
Salt Bowl. Salt Bowl.
It's funny, ain't it?
It's a little weird, yeah. I don't know what my voice is doing today. It's fine.
Well,
It's
Yeah,
just
the
find
alcohol.
another
This,
genie and wish for more books.
If you look at this one up here, it kind of looks like two genie ladies dancing, and their dresses are crossed at the bottom.
I can see it. I can see it. One of them has like a baby or a harp, maybe.
Is
It's
that
because
a
their
mermaid?
clothes are all
Champagne
flowy.
glass, like off to the side, just kind of.
Yeah. But their clothes are all flowy. That's why there's like ribbons going off of them, and that's why it kind of trails off into a weird ribbon shape.
I kind of see an aberration dolphin, because here's the head, here's the tail, here's the wings coming out of it.
Okay.
I was gonna say it kind of looks like King, but
Does it?
His head's not quite big enough, right?
it's true.
Maybe if we turn it upside down.
I see a turtle here. Here's its noggin and its shell
Yeah,
and its tail.
It's a turtle. It's a turtle.
A turtle. It's a crooked
Or a-
turtle.
or a
What-
Kanoko.
What's that part hanging down off the bottom there? Is his penis
That's
or did he
his-
poop?
I think he pooped himself.
Okay.
It's like, I don't think turtles poop like that. That's like how goldfish poop. It's a long line.
Well, maybe this is a story telling us that turtles evolved from goldfish.
This all seems correct.
Yeah.
Because we're going to go to the fucking moon or what?
I've been so ready to go to the goddamn moon. We almost didn't go to the moon, and I'm like, oh, we're not gonna go to the moon.
Nordo, can I help at dinner?
Of course, little dragon, anytime. I'm a little bit behind getting started, actually. Come on in.
Thanks.
I hope seeing all that NS stuff out there burning doesn't hurt you too bad.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Sucks up a bunch of drool. I was actually, you know, never mind. This is stupid.
But, come on out with it. You started it.
Just am I cutting these correctly?
A little thicker than I usually do them, but it'll work all right. Can I make an insight check?
Yeah.
Oh god.
So fucking bad. I can't
Well,
remember.
lucky you.
perfect.
Whoops. Yeah, it's clearly trying to deflect.
It'll kind of take a second to go sort of. He's not a good actor. He tries to do it subtly, but it's not subtle. Like close the door so they have a little privacy. So
Slams it.
slams it closed like he's gonna kill
Kinda
him.
kicks it. Does he lock it too?
Takes his axe off of his belt, but then just sets it down on a table nearby. Is there something you want to talk about, little dragon?
Well, you're the only. Well, you're the person with a bunch of piercings, and I was gonna ask if you could help me, but then I realized you probably didn't do it yourself, so asking you is kind of stupid. It's like asking somebody with a good haircut if they could cut your hair. Not that I would know anything about that, but you know.
I did this one actually. He kind of lifts up his hand, and on the back of it, there's like a smaller human handprint on the back of his hand. But yeah, the rest of it was done by other people. What are you thinking about getting something pierced?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking my tongue.
That sounds like it hurt something terrible. Look at a lot of tattoos. It never occurred to me to pierce my tongue though.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I thought it would be kind of cool.
Just I hope you don't mind my saying. I don't mean to sound. I mean, if you want me to pierce your tongue, I'll pierce it for you. But it seems kind of out of nowhere.
Well, I didn't get the tattoo with everybody, and I wanted to have something to commemorate it. Still.
Well, that's awful sweet. That I could give you a tattoo. It may not be great, or we could go get one here in town. Just sort of somewhere around here, get a tattoo at.
I mean, if you're willing, I've got a nail.
Okay, so let me. In fact, I have medicine proficiency. And
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I've given tattoos or not. I have lots of tattoos.
It's reasonable, definitely with your upbringing.
Do I feel that I could pierce Gale's tongue safely?
Give me a medicine check. Yeah, you think that you know all the procedures, you know how to do it safely. You feel like you're very qualified to give him a piercing if he wants.
I could do it for you. We did stuff like this back with the orcs. It's been a while, but it ain't too complicated, silly as that sounds. It's kind of just putting a nail through a tongue. You're gonna need a ring or something to put through it.
Yeah, I'll go get one made. Or make one. Should it like be made of anything in particular?
Do I know the answer to that question, Feck?
Yeah, you would know that some materials are much safer to use than others. You would know that brass and copper are both very safe. They tend to not cause infections. They tend to last a long time without any problems. You would know to avoid pewter and most forms of silver.
I assume I would also want copper and brass because that's going to taste terrible.
Yeah.
So I probably want to just go gold.
Yeah, gold would also work. Yep.
Recommend lead.
And not silver. And, brass works all right for these, and he sort of points up to his own nose ring. But you're a king. I think gold's the thing to do.
Well, we've got a lot of gold around, so.
So why not silver?
A lot of people are allergic to silver.
Gotcha.
Are you sure everything's all right, little dragon? I mean to pry. Just seem a little off is all.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. What Flick said earlier, I think he was kind of right. We've all got so many things that we need to be doing, and when we're together, we can only do one of them at a time. And I don't know. I guess I feel like there's too much for us to be doing one thing at a time.
Yeah, it is. It's all pretty overwhelming. I sat out on all this. All I really wanted to do was find family, get home, maybe get revenge if it was out there to be got. Now we're all wrapped up in dragons and kingdoms and big cities under the sea and aliens from outer space. And I don't understand more than about half of it, but one foot in front of the other. We've been getting through it so far. We'll keep getting through it. As long as we're together.
Yeah. Thanks.
Sure thing. Hello.
And back to the important part.
Yes. I haven't been saving tokens from my mighty foes.
Would you like a centaur hoof?
See, the problem is that I just got an item that gives me 19 cons, so this +2 does nothing for me. Somebody else.
Which one of these is Zircon's mom? I need my third mom to be my other mom.
Very important.
It's clearly Athaya would definitely be the Sapphire Gen, I think.
I feel like she would be, yeah.
Yeah, and Wisdom. She's the one about being like a leader, right? Because she was the
Yep.
leader.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And she's like, sapphires are more precious blue gem than a zircon is. So there's like symbolism of her being the sapphire because she's the full gen, and then him being the zircon because he's a pack gen
It's all true.
genasi.
The Sapphire Gen is definitely Athaya. Confirmed.
Yep. The only way I'm going to be convinced it's not her is if Beck makes her a man now. And even then, I'm not going to judge her. It's fine. If she decides that's what she wants, I mean, or what he wants, good for him.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, it's definitely not +2 to both.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus H. So remind me, each of us can use one of these books once effectively, or is using a book expending it?
No, so there's no cooldown. You can pass these 3 back around. It's just that each person has to choose one, and that's all they get.
Yeah.
But like,
Dang, I just gave away all my gold.
Do you need some? I have some money.
Damn it, I don't need instant wisdom. I needed charisma.
It's right there.
Fuck.
Two of us. Don't worry, we can make more money.
I
Be
bet I
quick.
can't talk to my other mom if I don't take the sapphire.
You have another mom?
Never mind. I had a real weird trip the other day, and it's just, you see into a past life kind of deal.
I understand that very much.
You literally. Wow, I forgot who I was talking to. Of course you do. It makes sense. Well, I guess it's like that for you all the time, and it's actually real and not just drug induced. I don't know.
Who's to say the drugs don't somehow reconnect synapses in your brain that used to be connected to a former life?
That'd be interesting. I mean, they've recycled the brain matter there, so that's kind of gross.
There are some cultures that use drugs in religious rituals, allowing them to connect to the spirits.
Huh.
So it's not that far-fetched.
Guess not. I didn't think about that.
I guess Ace and I finish our experiment like this is what we've come up with. This is probably what we can do with the machine later on to improve it. I'm gonna put it back in the canvas. I'm gonna remove 25 gold worth of magic ink.
Yeah, about the time you finish your experiment, you watch as the last traces of magic fade from the original set of books, which does remain as a normal set of books that appear identical. At the very least, you've created a physically identical set to the book, but it has lost entirely all of its enchantment. It is totally mundane now. But that does still leave you with a new trio of the books, the Book of Three Fates, and the weird clay tablets.
Interesting. Oh, these don't need to be read, right? Just opened and yeah, I assure mode. But no, you don't need to read them. You just need money for them.
Got it. This is amazing.
It's good because I don't know how to read.
File of books.
Also, we have these now. These are the original, but they're now non-powered. These have power. Should be fine.
What time
God.
of night is it in game right now, Vic?
It is probably getting to be about sundown, 8:30, 9 o'clock or so.
Good, we can all see the moon.
Yeah.
That sounded really like you're some creepy werewolf in a horror movie or something. It's like, then I realized it's because we're going to the moon.
The moon.
Yeah, for what it's worth, the moon has been visible for a while, and it will probably be visible for most of the night. It is, by luck, a pretty clear, cloudless night. Everything is just very calm and still.
Right. So we should discuss what to do next.
Well, most immediate thing is, I don't know the word immediate. First thing, getting up to the moon and getting Ismar was the plan, I think, so we can go get Kyle and Joker and all them. Then after that, we need to decide which egg to crack, I guess. We got Treasure Pineland, we got Tartarus, we got the Wandering Sun. Should pick a direction.
Could I do one thing before we make this decision?
Certainly.
Okay. Ace, I'm gonna need your help.
What?
Okay. I need you and me and one of these books to go into the special place.
The mirror?
No, my special place. My crying room.
Oh, okay. Are we?
Technically, the rest of you can come too. It's just that it's a small room, and Ace is the only one that's like mandatory for this.
AC
You
Gale,
know,
welcome
my,
to a room
my
with a
horns
book.
get stuck, and I'll just stay here. You have fun now. It's okay.
Yeah, let's go. Are we crying?
Yeah. No. Okay, so I am going to attune to the Tome of Three Fates.
All right.
And then Ace, I would like you to use your monocle.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful.
To do
It takes
to do
10
what?
minutes.
Yeah, but if I say something at the 9:30 mark,
Oh yeah, that's fair.
so you're going to use the monocle. We're going to stay perfectly quiet for 9.5 minutes, and then I'm going to say something. You're going to give me the result. I'm going to see 3 versions of this. I'm going to get to say 4 things as a result.
Do you have what you want already prepared?
I have a couple. And actually, yeah, I think it should be ready.
All right. You make your way into the crying closet, and you begin to activate the monocle. And then you wait until about the 8:45 mark, and then you begin to study this book. And almost immediately, as you begin to read its line, you realize that there's no actual words or text in it. It's just these silvery, sparkling, diamond-like strokes that begin to write themselves out, scrawling across the blank page, turning to the next one and continuing to scrawl more. And then at the end of one of the pages, there's a sudden flash of white in your mind, and you look up. What would you like to do? There's about 30 seconds left on the monocle.
Begin to say these questions in order, one for each of the 3 passes.
All right.
Is it a question or a statement? Because it won't answer questions.
Yeah, I'm writing these as statements.
Okay.
It's very clever. Okay. The first false future you speak. Ozymandias cannot spy on us in this room.
Not this time. I will next time, though.
About 15 seconds pass, and then Ace, you receive 99.5% true. And I assume that you tell Gale about that.
I do.
But then you remember none of that because time rewinds for everyone except for Gale, who in the second false future says Ozymandias requires a new body to live. A few more seconds pass. Ace, you get a response of 58% true. You announce it, and then a few more seconds go by. Time rewinds for everyone. Gale is the only one who remembers that false future. Gale speaks, Ozymandias cannot leave Storm Cellar. This one you learn is about 45% true. And then the third false future having been burned, Gale, you've returned to the present. There's about 30 seconds left.
Just ask if, or say, Ozymandias cannot spy on us in this room.
All right, and you receive the exact same response, 99.9% true. He cannot spy on you in that room.
So what all?
Oh, I'm sorry, we missed the read minds. I'm sorry. Yes, so it should have been read minds, then spy, and then new body. So let me get these in order. So let's see.
So I heard read minds was 99% true.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. Just a second.
I like the betrayal bungalow.
It's real good. There you go. So on the fourth.
Okay, so that's only 30%.
Yes.
That's comforting.
So on the final real one, the one that Ace sees and remembers, you ask whether or not Ozymandias can spy in that room, and you both receive the 99.9%. You're both very confident that he cannot spy in that room.
What else did you ask, or what else did you tell it to check?
All right. Well, let's go tell everybody. And so I'll go with Ace outside so everybody can hear this all at once.
Yeah.
So learned that Ozymandias possibly can't leave Storm Cellar. There's a 45% chance, so or 45% accuracy, so that's 50-50. There's something that's holding him there, essentially.
I imagine it's Ozymandias' order.
Possibly. It could also be the cellar door. They had said that they had locked the whole place down, right? So no one in, no one out. But presumably he has some way of getting that open and leaving. Thankfully, we learned that in that room, Ozymandias cannot spy on us, so we're safe in there. Also learned that he can read minds, but it was only 30% accurate, so I assume he has the capacity to, but it's something he has to actively be doing. So hopefully if he's targeting anybody else, in our dreams or however he is doing this, he shouldn't be able to read our minds without making some active action to do it. And finally, this one's ambiguous and I don't really know what to get from it, but I asked if he needed a new body to live, and it was 58% true.
What brought about that question?
Thank God. Thank fucking God.
Well, because he's a lich and he's never appeared before us in a physical form, and I don't think anyone's actually met him physically. So I've just been kind of wondering if he even can.
You got me there. We've all he's wormed his way into all of our dreams though, right? That wasn't just me or you
I wanna do it.
who he told that he wanted to kill me.
Do I need to roll for insight, or does my passive get enough?
Your passive gets enough that he's withholding information.
Nomad believes immediately.
Same.
But also, not all of us. He visited some of us. Most of us. He kicks a rock.
He didn't visit you?
He didn't
Not
visit,
even-
he didn't visit me either, Nomad. Don't worry.
Not even to talk shit.
You're still
Not
beautiful.
even talk shit.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry, but I don't know. It wasn't a very pleasant time. He kind of just showed up in my dreams,
I heard all
which
he
I
said.
know, which I normally don't have. And he was like, "Hey, I want you dead. Fuck you. I knew I wouldn't be able to work a deal with you. I want you dead. Fuck off." And that was pretty much it.
That was incredibly petty of him.
Yeah, I honestly admire the level of pettiness, but also fuck that guy, right?
Indeed.
Flick, what's up?
I just want to insight all of this.
Sure. I'm kind of leaving all these insight rolls to player versus player. I'm not going to force anything out, but you guys can react as you see fit.
Yeah. Gale's. No, well, I might as well roll just for the sake of making it official. I think I only have a +2.
Not 20. Not 20.
Mine
Not
was gonna be a 25.
God.
He's very clearly withholding some information.
Right.
Seems like a pretty pointed question to come out of nowhere.
That he needs a new body. That's a clever question to ask. You all described him as bones.
Yeah,
Right.
he was a pretty
Yeah.
bony guy.
What do I know about liches?
Give me an Arcana check. Or history, but Arcana will get you more.
Sure.
Liches are typically very powerful wizards who realize that life can be artificially extended, but that doing so, and extending life beyond its natural limits, typically comes with the cost of soul degradation over time. It almost becomes like a very slow transition into undeath. And it is very slow. Nobody is going to become a lich by, like cloning themselves a couple times. But if you clone yourself for thousands and thousands of years, each time you come back, you take a little bit of chip damage to your soul until eventually what comes back is a husk. Essentially just a step above a zombie and a step below a vampire. It's you become undead very slowly over time as you artificially extend your life by one form of magic or another. Some people very explicitly do it through necromancy. Some people use more acceptable and mundane means. They use things like the druidic power or the control of ki to slow the aging in their body. But regardless of what kind of magic you do, souls do decay naturally a little bit over time until they reach their afterlife. And by decay, what I mean is that bits of them trickle into the afterlife, and that which remains behind in the material plane decays. And eventually, there's not left in the material plane to keep you grounded, and you kind of start to go a little bit insane and undead.
Do I know how they keep themselves alive?
Lots of different methods. Typically, when somebody talks about a lich, they usually refer to the explicitly necromantic kind. And the most common way of doing it is to take the parts of their soul that would disappear when they die and stuff them into something that is bound heavily to the material plane. Typically, these are objects that have very strong bonds of sympathy to other things on the material plane. So a great artifact that once belonged to a champion, or a great religious artifact, or a great magical item with tremendous power. And by tethering their soul to this other thing that is tethered to the material plane, they kind of forcibly cause their soul to linger longer than it should. And they basically make it so that if they die, their soul reforms into a new nearby body.
Does it need maintenance?
Sometimes yes. Depends on how well you do it the first time, I guess. But a lot of the time, yes, it does require some maintenance. In the absence of maintenance, bits of your soul trickle away, and when it does eventually reform, you have a lot of soul damage as a result.
So the concept of a phylactery is not a thing.
It is. When you put your soul into an object, that is often called a phylactery. The term is kind of falling in and out of use, but that is what it refers to. As anytime you
We
take your
use
soul.
Horcrux now.
Yeah, there's a lot of different terms for it. But yeah, that is the basic concept. You take your soul, stuff it into an object.
And can dragons do it?
As far as you're aware, with a 31 in Arcana, anything with a soul could theoretically do it.
With a soul and magical prowess.
Or have it done to them.
Or have it done to them by someone who knows that they're threatening, maybe?
Sure, certainly
Sure.
possible. It'd be hard to do it to an unwilling subject, because usually they fight back, and that's how you get, like, ghouls and wights and zombies and things.
Yeah. I share just whatever relevant information is needed for this. Like, if this is true, that he is indeed a lich, needing a new body will not really save him. Or the soul is damaged each time.
So the point of this experiment is that we can narrow down our information very quickly. If we keep using this tome, the first few times that it's used, we can use it to essentially just shotgun blast a bunch of questions all at once, and then use the subsequent responses to narrow down what's true and what's false.
What's a shotgun?
It's like
Ooga
my
booga
gun.
boomstick.
Yeah.
Oh, boom. Ooga booga boomstick. Got it.
That one I had ready.
That's clever.
I took it from Evil Dead.
Alright. Ace, what's up?
Oh, I'm just gonna wait until after this conversation has settled, and
Sure.
I'm gonna
Me
find Gale
too.
by himself.
I'm not going to wait to find Gale by himself. I'm going to do it after we're done with the main topic here.
Then yours will probably happen before mine.
Yeah, flick fire away.
Okay. Alright, so, Gale. The question was oddly specific. Who do we know that's going around offering deals to people? He wouldn't have happened to tell you all of this, and you're thinking about accepting a deal, right? I mean, he promises all of these things, but why would he do it if not for his own gain?
He made an offer and gave up some information. I'm not going to do it. It's just
Alright,
it's tempting.
I know. Mine was too. Just
Thank
wanna
you.
make sure
Do
you
you hate
don't
Basu
do-
that much?
No, mine wasn't about Vasu.
I'm still thinking about it. Same.
Inside.
Did I say it was about Vasu? Because that was a joke if it was. Mine definitely was not about Vasu. Well,
Inside and Gale saying he's not gonna do it. Not no man.
Are the
no,
rest
he
of
just
us here?
Yeah,
For
everybody's
this-
here. Everybody's here for this
okay.
conversation.
Okay, then I will actually say out loud. You guys got offered? He offered you things?
He didn't
He
offer
just
me
took-
anything.
He just told me he hated my guts and he wanted me dead. I wasn't lying about that. I'm genuinely offended now. What do you guys have that I don't? This guy wants.
I think what he is he wants you dead because you're too powerful and he fears you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's stroking your ego and you're taking it as an insult.
See, it's like whenever people bully people, it's usually because they're jealous of them. He's like, oh, this guy's so powerful, I'm gonna make him think he's not by being a dick to him.
So
He
he
look-
told me he'd be like pushing me down and pulling my tail if he could,
Right,
because
yeah.
he likes me so much.
He tried to hire hitmen to kill you.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
You're so popular.
D does kind of chime in. Wait, no, he said something though that I actually am kind of. What do you guys have that he doesn't? What does he want from you? They want you to kill my brother? What about
Not
you?
me.
We ain't gonna kill Vasa. We ain't no one's
You
taking
better
any
not.
of this.
But that does beg the question: who here has been offered a deal?
Pretty
Okay,
sure
but
it's all of us by now.
but
No,
also who has
but-
been explicitly offered as part of their deal to kill me?
Well, why don't we do this in an organized fashion? Who here has been offered a deal?
I sheepishly raise my hand.
I cross my arms and pout.
I mean, I've
No,
talked
no.
about the deal first to begin with, right? So yeah, obviously mine is. Raise his hand.
So Moat, Nordo, Gale, and Flick. Anyone else? Or has been contacted by him?
Bossy raises his hand at this point, I guess.
Okay, so
D
Now-
raises his hand.
D got one too.
Ooh.
Okay.
Spicy. What?
He's talking to you.
well,
and
Vasu,
it's-
Vasu,
No,
Vasu.
it's very clear on his face and probably not from his voice that Vasu is like more concerned and scared than he is like jealous.
He nods. He says, "Let's one at a time, I guess."
Yeah. So how about we go around and say what he wanted from each of us? Knowing more information can help us piece together what he wants.
I'll start. He showed up to me and Mo, told us he wanted us to kill Vasudeva. Said that if we helped him out, he would keep our families from dying and help us take down the slavers and all this stuff. And Norda looks directly at Gale. Says, and we told him, fuck you, because you're a liar and you ain't actually going to do any of the things you're promising and you're just trying to use us all against each other.
The method this was done, by the way, was by hijacking our teleportation.
Yes.
Different from dreams.
Moat, was there anything else that he left out from your shared experience?
No, that's about it. You mentioned the locust, but that
Okay,
doesn't
you-
align with killing Vasu.
Ah, the locust.
What about you, Flick? What was yours about?
I thought we talked about this before.
I just want to clarify.
Okay, mine was about my patron. He wanted me to go down where she's at and kill her for him.
And
And he
yes.
threatened me with knowing where my family was and being able to off them basically anytime he wanted to. Not my first time being threatened like that, I suppose, but indirectly, I guess.
All right. Vasu, he just wanted you to kill yourself? Is that correct? Or did I misinterpret that?
Basically, yeah.
Do you remember
I'll take a
exactly what he offered you, though?
Unless I'm not remembering any other important details. From
That was
he
about
basic-
right. He
He
kind of,
basically just contacted me, telling me to go like fuck off, and he wants me dead, right?
yeah, and part of it too is there was a point during the conversation where you got the sense that he was trying to spin some sort of story to you, and you like saw through it, called him out on his bullshit, and he's like, "All right, fuck you. I knew this wasn't going to work anyway." Is kind of
Okay.
what it boiled down to. It kind of seemed like he was trying to work an angle, but you just like played him so well that he gave up.
I mean, he was trying to sell me on something, but you know me, I'm a stubborn asshole till I die, and you know that's all he really wanted me to do in the end, and
Well,
probably all he wants all of us to do, regardless of whatever deal he's trying to spin to any of us. And I look around at the whole party, but especially at D at this point.
Yeah, mine was. It was while I was meditating. He kind of spoke out of my mouth back and forth with me. It was kind of weird. He wanted me to go down to the snake lights and start a big chain reaction. And he said that if I did, he would keep you safe. And he looks over to you, Vasu, and all of my family safe, and that I would be as strong and as cool as you.
You know that's all bullshit, right?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. He's an asshole.
I mean, he's not gonna keep any of us safe, regardless of what he tells you, and you don't need his help to be as cool as me. I think you're already pretty much on your way there. But
Well, yeah, of course, obviously, but like, I'm just letting you know that's what he offered me.
you told him to fuck off, right?
Of course, I told him to fuck off, but not because
That's-
I want you to get hurt or anything. It's just, you know.
That's my bro. I give him a big ol' hug.
Fuck
A
off!
word of
Don't make this
advice.
weird.
I'm
word of
sorry,
ad-
I'm worried. And I'm
A word
just
of-
okay, but hold on a second, Nomad. When you were meditating, where were you when he was able to reach you? Was that in the mirror or was that somewhere else? Because like the whole point
No,
of having you guys come along and be in there particularly is that he wouldn't be able to reach you.
no.
And if he or anybody can just kind of waltz on into your mind space there and fuck up your key, that's bad news, and we need to do something about it.
No, it's okay. I was outside. I was kind of off the ship, over on the streets. I won't go too far anymore. It was probably not safe.
Importantly, a follow-up question that we need to answer is: when did this happen? When did everyone get contacted? So we have an order of events. Who did he contact first, and then what line of people did he try to go through?
As you work it out, you do learn that D's happened the exact same time as Vasu's, the same night.
Gotcha. Okay. I figured that. I think I remember roughly how it happened, meta. So we don't need to actually dig into it and find out. But I think it was. Yeah, I think that's about right.
That sounds right, with Nordo and Moat being at the same time.
Though, yeah. Who all is with us right now? It's just our group plus D.
I think that's the case.
And King, probably.
I thought King left.
This king better be gone.
Yeah.
You
but he's-
thought he left, but
Yeah,
he dimensioned
probably around.
earlier, so he's probably still here being nosy.
Maybe.
D will kind of look to Gale. Was that everyone?
I think we just have Gale left. Sounds like Nomad and I have not been contacted, nor Granny.
But we don't know about
Means
her.
that-
She's probably just asleep.
I mean, honestly, it's really hard to say what she'd say. It sounds like she used to kill dragons, but she really hates people.
I bet she thought she was having a dream and immediately summoned a giant sword and cut his head off in the dream, so it just ended immediately.
It's hard to say. Or she just made him breakfast.
You could
Um,
no, she's
Made of
a
breakfast?
murderer. She
But-
would just summon that sword and hack his head off, no questions asked.
But Gale, what happened for you?
He said that he would have Osdirith leave Storm Cellar, and my people would be safe. And what he wanted me to do was give him my body.
In
He would
what
also
sense?
give me a new body.
Right.
Hmm.
Then-
How
and you
how does he
want-
plan to get you a new body and to move bodies?
He said that the semblance engine could do it.
Wouldn't that cause a lot of soul damage?
You were thinking about doing it?
Like I said, it's tempting, but I wouldn't do it.
It's possible in theory.
Well, what body would you get then? Just like a random body off the street?
Potentially, or I did make him an offer. I don't know how much he's actually considering it, but I said I wanted Ozydirith, and he said yes.
As in his son.
Yeah. It's in the tyrannical dragon that tortured me for a year and a half and, tormented and killed all my people.
And currently has the rest enslaved.
That one.
That's a good choice.
It's kind of poetic, which is part of the
Although-
reason I was considering it.
Although to rule your people in the body of their tyrant,
Yeah.
I mean, dragons live a long time. Eventually, the people would come to see him as Gale instead, unless you let the power corrupt you.
we can also probably
mean-
change the body.
I was gonna
With
say
magic.
I can probably do that not too long from now.
Hold on, we can't be considering
Well,
we're not
sorry,
encouraging this idea.
Oh, these are
we?
just
sorry, we did just,
hypotheticals.
sorry, we get caught in the interest of the science.
Because he won't help you, Gale. You know that, right? It's a trick. It's a ruse. He doesn't want you
Right.
to do what we're gonna do, which is go in
Well-
there and kill Azadirth herself and take your kingdom back without his help.
But could we not use this to our advantage?
Of course we can. I just want to make sure we're all real clear here. This is a trick. This isn't a real option.
Oh yes, but maybe if Gale wants to play the double agent.
And go along with it, and then, you know, take him out too. Not Gale, I mean, but
Yeah, well, we're taking Vasi and Mazel 2 with one stone.
Wait, what? No, fuck you.
What else did he offer you though? Because it seems that the commonality is he offers to protect your family, but I forget who it was. Someone mentioned how he seemed whimsical about it, like he was just saying it as an afterthought, like he knew it really wasn't anything that was important, but felt obligated to be said.
No, didn't say anything like that.
Can I? This is insanity. But let me just say it. Ozymandias, get all these osses mixed up.
There's a lot of
Once-
Oz's.
Ozymandias wants your body, and he wants to use the semblance engine to get you out of it and put it somewhere else inside of his kid.
Yeah. So he was
Can't-
gonna have me move my soul into Azadir's, and then, well, in Azadir's body, I would use the semblance engine to move his soul or whatever he is now into my body.
Well, if we know where, I mean, we have an inkling of where it is based on the drawings we saw. What do we need Ozymandias for? Why don't we just go get the thing? And if you want a new body, we'll get you one. And hell, if Ozymandias wants that body, we can destroy it when you're done with it. Sounds crass, but
I mean, what I'm saying is we act like we're going through with it, then as the skeletal Oz is becoming Gale, we, no offense Gale, but kill him in the weaker body,
I
and
I
then
have
we
a thought.
change Gale back to Gale with magic later, because I can do that soonish. And then we
I-
kill two birds with one Gale, I guess.
I guess all I'm getting at is if Ozymandias is willing to kill his own son and free all of Stormcellar just to get your body, but he must want your body pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's how your body reacts to still stones that he really is interested in. But all this talk has made me thinking about my father's machine. When we copied over magic, it transferred the magic. It makes me wonder if you copied over a living being, would it transfer the soul to the new body?
What if we use the simulacrum to make another body, right? Could you then move to the other one? Is that a
Then-
thing?
And they could use modified memories to maybe transfer the memories? Because you with
But
these
then you'd be
scrolls.
made out of ice, and that wouldn't be good.
Yeah,
I
that
meant-
seems less than ideal.
A quick question.
Yes.
For the purpose of security, is this all happening telepathically
I presume
or
so.
out loud?
100% telepathically.
Okay, cool.
I guess I'll turn off my bubble. Damn it.
Surely we know better than to talk out loud at this
Yeah.
point.
We know someone's kind of watching. We're not on the ship right now. Where are we actually? Are we in the
Well,
mansion?
we're on the ship.
Oh yeah, we're on the ship. Oh yeah, we're in a place where we can't be watched much.
Well,
But it's probably safe still.
we're
I guess I
definitely
don't
not
turn
all
off
in
the
that room.
bubble. I just
Yeah,
let
there-
it in. That's right. Why are
there
these
is-
all notes popping up? Oh my god.
Nordo asked for him. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I specifically wanted the one of the semblance engine taking a soul out of a body and putting it into another one. Per Ace's theory, he was just reciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
But then it makes me wonder, can you copy a soul? It would be an easy experiment. We just have to take something like a mouse, put it in the engine, see if it copies over. And then if it does copy over, do we have two living mice, or do we have one mouse that is being drained into the other?
Ooh, what if we give him that simulacrum and he goes into that, and then we just cast the spell magic and he dies?
I mean, that could we make it look? Well, I guess it depends. Does he have something like my monocle, where he could just see that it's made of magic?
I don't know. I mean, Gale's pretty much all magic anyway, right?
I mean, he's a dragon. He's got some kind of true sight, right?
There is a way to block true sight.
Can't we just ask the monocle if he has true sight? We got this nice handy trick
Well-
now to ask it a bunch of questions about him.
True, we can. That would be a good idea, right? And then we wouldn't even have to put Gale in danger. But that also made me wonder. I guess never mind. It wouldn't. Never mind.
Know what?
Oh, I was thinking if the copy machine, but I thought it through.
Okay.
We should probably use the next, day, but actually a week to think of questions for the monocle about Ozymandias. Then we can do a shotgun roulette and see what we can, kind of narrow down.
I'm sure we can brainstorm ideas tonight up on the moon and what was his name's bar?
Who?
The guy, what was his name?
Who?
So before we do that, one thing we probably should go is visit the rest of our kin and see if they've been contacted. Because, I mean, Dee didn't say anything. So what's to say that Uno wasn't contacted or Flick's mother wasn't contacted?
Of course, Uno's been contacted. She's been
We're-
feeding information
we're all
directly.
I'm sorry, I forgot names of people who are with our party.
Yeah, no, we should check and probably also let people know that we're going to the actual moon. Maybe it's better they don't know that. Maybe they should all just stay in the mirror.
But yeah, I think for the best is to stay in the mirror.
Oh,
Which-
I'm telling my family I want to see the moon.
I mean, I'm obviously gonna ask D if he wants to see the moon too.
Well, he's right
Yeah,
here.
you're right.
So
Definitely
Of
tell them to
course
get
I
about
want
it
to see
too.
the moon. You were going to the moon, right?
Yeah, we're going
Plan.
like tonight, I think.
See,
Good,
I wasn't gonna
awesome.
tell my family because I wanted to take my mom to the moon for her birthday, and then I was gonna take Cass on a date to the moon, and you guys are ruining all of my ideas.
Well, those are both real sweet moments, and you can leave them both in the dock for it. But we only get to the moon so many times, and my whole family's not here yet. So I'm gonna show my goddamn little brother the
Yes.
goddamn moon.
As
Fine.
this conversation is happening, there is a click, and then another click, and then another click. 3 or 4 back to back that seem to come from different corners of the house. And you do watch as several ever-burning torches kind of click into life. They cast soft orange dancing lights across all the walls and in this little garage area as well. And then you hear a bit of a bubbling roar that seems to come from down the end of the hall in the eastern part or branch of the building.
Oh, we're on the ship.
Oh, are you on the ship? Oh yeah, you're
I
on the ship.
believe that's what they said.
Just kidding.
Oh,
Then,
are we?
if you're parked near at the very least, you guys can see several lights come on from inside the mansion.
yeah, we also should probably move our boat to our house.
Yeah, let's go over there. It probably already is for easy
Um,
access.
Is that on a timer or something?
It
yeah,
probably is.
Yeah, I'm
Hopefully.
so- also
There's
I'm
probably a little machine outside that like notices when it's dark and then turns off.
Oh, they must have built
Yeah.
a daylight sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing.
Intuitive.
I am glad that we all had this conversation.
We
Kind
use
of came
pocket
up with-
gnomes at Sasnak.
Pocket gnome?
Pocket
Yeah,
gnomes.
you have a box of pocket gnomes, and then when it gets bright out, they all go inside their little homes, and you know that it's sun's out.
Are they like real
Wait.
gnomes? Like real little people?
No, they're like fleas.
Oh, I thought you meant like the people too. And I'm like, Jesus, fuck Gale.
Yeah, that was a bit
Talk
fucked
about my
up,
little
especially-
gnome slaves that all they do is come out and light a torch for the nighttime.
I was about to say that that's real fucked up, especially considering your whole like character motivation. But yeah, we have like still stones back home that let you know underground if it's dark. They stop lighting up when it gets dark, which is real not helpful at all when you're
Isn't
underground.
that unintuitive?
Yeah,
Shouldn't-
it's but like you can't like make a still stone light up when you want it to.
You can actually. That's kind of what they're made for.
Shut up! You don't know more about still stones than I do. I'll
I
fight
absolutely do.
you. You think you know, but you do.
Who works on your enchantments, Vasu?
Hey, by the
Literally,
way,
I'm making your spirit.
hey, by the way, can you work on this spear? that I got. I've got some ideas for it.
It's on the list.
I think it's already done. We're just waiting on God to tell me what it does.
Pretty much, yeah.
God, are you listening?
God is listening, and
It's
he will
me-
get you a card this week.
It's me, Vasu.
God has to tell me how much money I'm spending on my stuff because I want like 500 things.
I only
Life-
want one thing, and it's literally disgusting.
All right, you guys did say you're bringing the ship over towards the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Also, I might dip soon, guys.
Sure.
I have to get up pretty early
Yeah.
tomorrow.
we're wrapping up pretty soon too. When you get there, you do see that several lights have automatically popped on, and when you kind of take a look inside, you do hear that there is kind of a bubbling noise coming from the pool at the end of the hall. It seems that several fountains have turned on, and it's bubbling like a hot tub. Yeah.
Oh, how nice.
Well, this is really neat.
This is so extravagantly wasteful.
You do also hear faint music coming from the bar that seems to just play from nowhere.
Not only do they have automated water pumps that come on also automatically at nightfall, but nobody else in town does. Isn't this place great?
That's the important part. The oppression.
Vasu is saying this with a very obvious grain of salt. Like
Okay.
his beak is full of salt. He hates everything about this. He's all about the reform, but he doesn't know how to do it.
It's okay, don't worry. There's plans in place. And he just spills like armloads of scrolls on the table and unrolls
Oh
them.
God,
Yeah,
that's
I
too
thought-
much. That's for me personally. I love your idea. I support it 100%. It's too much reading. I'm gonna go sit in that hot tub.
You don't have to read
the one that's too extravagant. Are you sure that's okay?
I mean, like as long as I know it's gonna trickle down to somebody who needs it eventually.
Trickle down. We
If
got
the
there.
water is
Hell
gonna
We
yeah.
trickle
did
down.
it. We did
We were the
We
it.
did
kings
it.
of
We
salt
made
bowl
it
for
there.
6 hours before we arrived at Trickle Down Economics.
I'm sorry to Reagan in this campaign into the ground, but you know.
It's okay. I thought first you were like worried about the environmental damages, and then I'm like, oh wait, that's not a thing yet. We just have magic. It's CO2 friendly.
Maybe we're not sure. Maybe in the future they find out, oh, it's emitting these weird radiation.
So like
Gordo burnt about 600 pounds of NSS food, so I guess we're gonna find out.
to a certain degree, Vasu's
We just released 10,000 pounds of carbon trioxide.
like Vasu's entire monastic order is dedicated to like preserving the Stillstone reserves under the earth because their land is literally falling apart because of overmining.
Yeah, true.
Think of all that sky gas you're releasing.
Don't call it
Don't
that.
ever say that
No.
again.
Yeah, Vasu definitely knows and is preaching much more about this than I actually am out of character.
So wait, you're telling me Vaz's entire monastic order exists because his entire monastic order fucked themselves up in the first place?
Vasu would know enough about the history of his clan, especially because of his mom, to know that they never had like a very big mining operation. It's more just that the land that they settled on is already dangerously fraught, and if people like come try to mine it, it will be much worse. Which is a shame because it would be a very rich mining location if that wasn't going to destroy the land.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I talked out of character before like campaign that like Vasu and especially his order were set up around there and started practicing like martial arts to protect the land from people who just wanted to mine it into the ground.
Yep.
And fuck it and all the ecosystem around it up, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Could you not have like
we're
practiced
not
shooting instead?
We're not harvesting a lot of the stones ourselves, but we're also preventing the people from just coming in and fucking it up, which is why I want to beat all these blue robed fucks into the ground.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think they're mining though. I think they're poisoning it for no reason.
That's worse.
It's worse because they're not even using it.
Right.
How wasteful.
Frick and Galen Nordo, as you head in here, you can see that there are several dragon heads that seem to have emerged from between the plants along the walls and are now spouting warm water in, and that the water itself is kind of bubbling. It's very warm. It's very much like a warm bath at the end of the night.
Doesn't seem like poison.
I don't know. Give me a perception check.
Okay. I dip 1 foot into the acid.
Sure, you dip a finger in it. It feels like warm bath water. Feels comfy.
Do I detect any magic on it?
Afraid that it's poison.
You detect some transmutation magic from the statue heads that are spouting water, yeah. As well as a little bit of conjuration. No, it does not look like poison. It looks like
That's good.
surprisingly crystal clear water that is being poured into the bubbling pool. You can see that there's this kind of nice glazed clay or stone that has these fancy patterns that go all the way down into the basin, into the bottom.
It's too hot.
Okay.
Why would someone want to sit in water this hot?
Hot tub is too hot.
Ow! Jump back, kiss myself. But also, can I convince you with Jeweler's Kit proficiency to like look over the things you just mentioned that I also already noticed, to see if this water is being like especially generated by a still stone?
Sure, give me Arcana, and also while you're at it, give me Jewelers.
Yeah. There's that. Yeah.
With Arcana, it seems pretty simple that this is like, you know, a magical water fountain that magically produces warm water. You're not entirely sure about all the mechanics behind it, but that seems to be the case, and it lines up with what everybody else is saying. However,
So this is like
with your jeweler's background, you do notice that the glazed clay inlay of the pool seems kind of familiar. It seems to be the same kind of color and finish as the tablets that were in the safe.
interesting.
Do I
Secret.
do I jump in?
All right.
I don't know what to make of that out of character, but I will mention to the rest of the party. I was like, "Hey, this thing's like just it's creating water, right? It's not just pumping it from somewhere."
What do you mean? I ain't never heard of that.
I mean, I was mostly asking like Gale, and Nomad maybe. Like, is this a pump or a source? Is this
That
is
one
this a source
theoretically?
block? Yeah, like all these pumps.
The Oasis itself, or these?
I guess just like this particular thing I've been investigating. What I'm mostly getting at is if this is a thing that's creating water, and if it is, why the fuck don't we just move it to the town?
Yeah, you could either like take some time to study it mechanically with tinkers, you could identify it, you could do just a rough Arcana check to get a quick sense. All the above would work.
Yeah. The plan, Basu, was to make more of them in town. That way we don't have to worry about moving things. It's too inefficient.
I mean, I guess.
We also can't move this one because I'm using it right now.
4
Flake's
hours
still,
in charge.
Still drunk is taken off his clothes and gotten in the tub because it looks amazing.
I keep my clothes on, but dip my foot in.
Sits by the edge. Toto kind of finds a spot to perch right beside you.
I'll grab a book and sit with them with my feet in.
Sure. Nomad, what's up?
Right. So we've had the entire day. I want to identify everything,
Okay. You learned that
including
there's...
the not the specifically like the crystal with the key for the Oasis.
Yes.
What is that?
The crystal with the key appears to be a control mechanism. It is very literally the key to some sort of arcana mechanical device that you have not found, even with the whole day studying the mansion. You're not sure where it goes. But if you could find where it goes, it apparently controls the Oasis somehow.
I'll probably go into the water.
Do you go into the water of the Oasis?
Yeah, I can hold my breath for 30 minutes. It's
Sure.
fine.
You kind of head into the Oasis, you dip your toes in, it's cool and crisp, it gets very cold overnight. You kind of bring the crystal in with you, and it doesn't seem to react to being in the water at all.
When I don't find anything in the water, I probably go to like Archie.
Sure. Yeah, you're able to kind of dry off and head on down to the mayor's mansion. It's very late, but I mean, you've magically
There was
suggested...
time the entire day, basically, right?
You guys got here at evening time, played your games.
Oh,
It was like
evening already.
yeah, like right now it's like 11 o'clock at night.
Cool. Oh, I don't mind being late.
And yeah, I mean, you've magically compelled him to be cooperative. So, with a little bit of rousing, he's like, oh, right, yes, what is this all about then?
Healed up. Like, so the crystal and the key, where does it go?
Oh, come to think of it, I don't actually know. You might need to go talk to Zavada. They were kind of in charge of all that. I know there's some sort of machine. I thought it was in the manor, actually. They always took it into the manor whenever they needed to use it.
We've never had. We didn't find anything related to it inside the manor.
Oh, that's a damn shame. Well, he might be able to help you.
Sure, I'll ask Zavada.
Good luck. He's real cranky at night, but, you know.
He's a kobold. They're nocturnal, aren't they?
He's a fire newt.
Oh wait, yeah, that's a fire newt.
I think they're
Does he work with the
crepuscular, but I
kobolds?
really don't
Oh no,
know.
I'm thinking of the other group, Bugsy and the boys.
Yeah,
and
he's a
Yogg.
Bugsy.
Yeah, fire newt. I'll go pay him a visit.
Alright, as you're heading that way, Flick, what's up?
So I'm using this tub. And, how deep does it go?
It seems like it has a shallow end and a deep end. The shallow end is about 4.5 feet, and then the deep end goes down to about 8 feet.
Okay, so it's like a whole heated pool, shit.
It is, and there's kind of like stepped tiers at different areas.
Okay, well, due to my debt, I don't need to breathe underwater. Well, I can breathe underwater. So Flick's gonna go down to the deep end and probably lay on the bottom, because, I don't know, deep water. It's cool.
Hell yeah. It's very cozy, and it's crystal clear, and it's warm, and it's bubbly. You can see that there are bubbles that seem to just form all along the bottom of the surface and rise up like you're
Okay.
inside of a boiling pot.
Ooh.
While you're down there, what's your passive perception?
This is another reason I wanted to get in here. My passive perception's only a 10.
Okay, is there anything in particular you do while you're down there?
I'll probably lay on the floor for a little bit.
Alright. As you're just... Or yeah, go
You mentioned, I forget, that was Vasu who noticed that the tiling was similar. Did he say anything about that?
That is up to him. Fossa, did you mention anything about that?
I probably mentioned it out loud too, but in character or out of character, mostly at the time, I was mostly concerned about
Okay,
the water pumps.
right. Well, if
Yeah,
I
that's
heard
what I
about
said.
that, then I would like to investigate the bottom of the pool to see if I can find any space that those would go.
Sure. Give me perception with advantage.
Okay.
Because of your particular pact and also the fact that you are specifically looking for it, it takes a little bit of spotting. There's a lot of bubbles that kind of obfuscate the bottom of the pool. But you wipe some of them away when you notice some strange marks, and you do find that near the deep end of the pool, there is a strange pattern that doesn't appear anywhere else.
Okay. Flicks on an investigative kick. Oh yes, the boob pattern.
While you're looking at that, Nomad, you make your way back to Waterfort, where the Emerald Company normally hangs out, and you knock on the door, and you get a very kind of tired-looking tabaxi. It says, it's late. We don't do water anymore. What do you want?
I need to speak with Zavada. What was his name? Zagana or Zavada?
It's almost midnight. Zavada's sleeping. Is it urgent?
When's he next available?
If it's urgent, I can wake him. If it's not urgent, he'll get to you in the morning. Swing by at sunup.
Morning, sun up. Very well.
Understood. He kind of like closes the shutter, looks a little annoyed.
Just heads back.
And the Waterfort is really only like 3 minutes walk from the manor. You return and you find a lot of the gang hanging in the pool, some of them asleep. Flick seems to be missing.
Next thing to identify are the clay plates.
When you identify the clay plate, you find a little bit of abjuration on them. You essentially learn that they are keys. That they need to be assembled in the correct pattern and placed into the correct place, and they will open something up.
Yeah. He just says this telepathically. So these seem to be keys. I just don't know where to put them.
I think they go where Flick is.
Oh no, I need him to roll for me. Shit. I need you to make a DC 18 spellcasting check, please. That's a nomad.
You find when you try to connect with Flick, even though he's been pointed out, and like the rest of the party sees him down there, you can't connect with him.
Odd. This is how people get killed. I do like a little cantrip and splash the water.
Yeah, Flick, as you're studying this cautiously, you do hear like somebody did a splash or a cannonball above you.
He'll come up to... Yeah, he's gonna have to go get the tablets anyway, so I guess he'll go up. What?
The tablets are keys, he says. I've been telling everyone, but I can't seem to connect with you because of your new item.
Oh, that's odd.
Yes, you solved the secret door back in the library. Perhaps you can find where these go in.
I think I found it already, actually.
They're very efficient. He hands them over.
I used to do this for a living. It's fine.
I think you still do it for a living.
Yeah, true.
Just kind of drifts them over.
Okay, I'll be right back. Give me those pieces.
Alright, you got them pieces.
I had to rotate them. Shit, okay.
Oh no.
I need to take the lines is what I need to do. See, that would probably work if I just dragged the whole thing to the point. Let me put those back and do that. Cause...
Drunks like this. How'd you manage to do that? They're magnetically put together.
They do like come apart easily enough. They've just got a little bit of magical energy that causes them to snap like a magnet.
You go like click, click, click.
I was just like, oh yeah, I'll take them one at a time. That's what makes sense, and it doesn't. I think this is right.
No, they gotta connect in the middle, right?
Oh, okay, that's right. So this way, like that.
Alright. As you place these two and you kind of point them with the openings towards each other, there is suddenly a flash of gold that appears in the center of each of them, and then traces through the maze until they connect in the middle. And then I need everybody in the pool room to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oops.
In the room or in the pool?
In the pool, I'll say.
Okay.
Vasu is not in the pool because to get in the pool comfortably, he'd have to take his underwear off, and he's not doing that around his little brother. So
That's
You wear underwear?
no.
I think they've already seen everything before. It's fine.
Flick probably swam naked all the time and doesn't think about it.
Or it just is naked all the time, so he's fine.
He's probably washing his loincloth for once.
Although he unironically thought the water was way too hot and is just probably sitting with like his feet dangling in.
Alright. All of you, with the exception of Flick, who is actually in the water and fails to
Disadvantage,
at
probably,
disadvantage, are able to kind of pull yourselves out before anything significant happens, but it happens surprisingly quick. There's the rumbling of stone, and you watch as the entire bottom of the pool begins to split in half and then slide open like a giant door. And as it does, the water begins to collapse into sort of a spherical bubble almost, with Flick kind of swimming around in the middle, like confused and, suddenly trapped. And then you watch as this bubble begins to fairly slowly, about 20 feet per round, descend through a fairly long tunnel until it drops about 60 or 70 feet, and then it's out of view. And then A few more seconds pass. Or yeah, what's up? What are your immediate reactions?
Does the water seem to be pulling Flick along with it?
It does. It seems that he is stuck in it, and he's kind of going down with it.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
This is a bonus action. I don't know if he
It's
wants
fine. He
to
can
resist
breathe
it.
underwater.
That's a
Let's see. 30 feet.
dex save.
Okay, excellent.
I'm just offering to pull him out of the water with my control over water if he wants to be out of the water. But he
Yeah.
doesn't have to be out of the water if he doesn't want to be out of the water.
Yeah, you do see that kind of a tendril extends from Vasu. It's very clearly his magic. It's up to you whether you want to go up with his water whip or if you want to ride this bubble down. For what it's worth, although it is surprising and disorienting, it's moving slowly, and it doesn't seem to be accelerating. It's not a painful process for you. Give me a perception check before you make your decision.
Okay. Flick with the terrible perception today.
Yeah, very disorienting. You can tell that you're going down a tunnel, and there's some sort of a pale blue light at the end.
I thought I had message.
If you're connected to telepathy, you can literally just talk to everyone.
But see, I'm not.
Can you let me in?
I guess I could stop, but then you'd have to try again. Or is it always trying? I don't know how that works.
He's always reconnecting, basically. It's got
Okay.
that circle that's going around. That's like connecting.
Alright. Flick will drop the shield and let it come in, and I'm gonna follow this, see where it goes. I can get back out if it's bad. I think it's supposed to do this. I put a thing in the water.
You cost me a key point, you son of a...
Right after you say it, you guys watch as Flick descends a little bit more. The drop of water with him in it continues down and down, deeper into what appears to be a spherical tunnel about the right size for the droplet. And then the stone sides of the pool begin to close on each other, and are going to seal in like a matter of 2 or 3 seconds.
Well, hell.
I can't reach you from here.
Dear
I'll go
Flick, this is currently what's going on.
I'll go in after him. I'll jump in after him.
All right, Nordo takes a leap. At this point, it's like a 60, 70-foot drop down into the water. Give me athletics or acrobatics to try to, like, safely jump a 60-foot tall dive.
Oh, brother, you are forgetting that I am a monk.
You are a monk, that's true. So
Look.
actually... So,
Cannonball!
Flick, as you begin to see the light above fade, you see a tiny, well, not a very tiny, you see the shape of Nordo, his shadow, come rocketing towards you and cannonball down into the water. There's a splash and a spray of bubbles, and you're joined by Nordo inside of this water bubble.
Oh no, can you breathe water? I forget you're a turtle.
I can hold my breath for 10 minutes.
Anyone else
Okay.
have any immediate reactions?
I have
Assuming there's if they're still within range of telepathy, I'll just tell them you guys are stupid. But if they're not, I will cast a message down to Flick especially and say you guys are stupid.
I have the key in the crystal, so I'm gonna jump in and just feather fall myself in the last 5 minutes.
Okay, alright.
5 feet.
Yeah, with a feather fall, you're able to jump, and then you kind of stop yourself, short of having any sort of a dangerous impact. And you begin to feather fall at about the same speed as the bubble, so you're actually like a little bit above it as it's lowering down. Which leaves Vasu. It's kind of up to like I'll ask Ace and Moat. I am positive that Moat has jumped down, but we'll see what Ace does.
Yes.
I think he does, yeah.
We'll find out what Ace does. How about Gale? You are here now, so what does Gale do?
I'm not so good with swimming. I'm gonna stay here.
Alright. Gale waits up here,
I trust
Toto waits with them. Vasu waits up and sends a message telling them that they're stupid. We'll assume...
I mean, Vasu could kind of go either way because he can give himself the swim speed and I think also hold his breath for a goddamn good time. But
If
If-
you want to
if
go,
D-
I'll be okay.
if D can't, and especially because Gale can't, he's more willing to stay up here.
Alright, Vasu and D will stay with Gale, at least till you guys
Yeah.
find out what's going on.
Yeah.
This is... You know what? Do I show it? Yeah, we'll show it real quick, but then we're going to end right here. Real quick, let's get through these hand
man.
races. Flick, what's up? If it was
I-
immediate.
Those are tiles is what I wanted to do.
Okay, and Nomad, what's up if it's immediate?
Oh, that was earlier, I think.
Okay, excellent. Then as this, so the pool shuts above you, and you watch as it begins rapidly refilling with water. It's actually going a lot faster than you think it should, based on how fast these spouts are pouring. It seems to be magically refilling very, very quickly. And you do see that 6 tiny pieces of clay suddenly rise to the surface, floating on the bubbling pool water.
What kind of magical pieces of clay?
It seems to be just very, very faint abjuration. It's the maze key pieces that Flick used to open this thing. They've floated back up to the surface of the pool. Down below, out of sight from Vasu and Dee and Gale, this bubble of water lowers and lowers and lowers until it breaches the tunnel and begins to descend into a large cavern. Nomad kind of drifts above it for a moment and then eventually dips into the bubble and joins the 3 of you, or potentially 4 of you that are in it already. Until this sphere of water touches down on the top of what appears to be a big stone platform, and then kind of just splashes off the sides, eventually draining down into a lake or a pond that is giving off pale blue light. It definitely appears to be enchanted somehow. And you can see that this enchanted pond, all of its water is flowing up the sides of this rocky cavern and off into various crevices and cracks. It's like this magical pond water is being sent upwards somehow. And you can see that in the very center of it, there is a stone altar with some sort of magical device. But you can also see that there are several other directions in this cave. There are 4 tall columns that you drifted down in the middle of, and you can see a couple of metallic-looking surfaces in certain directions. Actually, I don't know if you can see them from here without Ace. Do any of you have dark vision?
I've got my
I can't
goggles.
see it. Is there a map that we're supposed to be seeing?
I will pull you over to the map.
Sweet. Yeah, you got dark vision.
With dark vision, you can tell at least to the east. There's a little canyon, or not canyon, a cavern, where there is a metal-looking surface with a large door. However, Nomad, you're down here. It's bizarre. When you look this direction, you see just kind of a hazy opening. Kind of just, it looks like cavern, with like a little pane of glass, perhaps.
Cavern.
Yeah, in other words, to get a little bit meta, because you've encountered this before, this surface appears to be made of benoisium, which means to you it looks like frosted glass, almost invisible.
Okay, frosted glass, almost invisible. Nomad just says, annoys him. Why would they use this metal for it?
But this is where we'll pick up next week.
It's
Hey, it's an adventure under a hot tub.
Hot tub
Are they-
adventure.
Is
Are-
this a hot tub time machine?
I think we've gone through a hot tub time machine.
Oh.
I've been rewarded for getting in the hot tub.
Are the people topside within 240 feet?
Yeah, they would be.
I just tell them like we are safe. We've found an altar made of benoism, and an
What the hell is
enchantment
that? What the hell is even that?
tool. That's the metal that I can't see through very well. I can't see very well.
Anti-mind flare metal.
Spicy.
Spice. Alright, my dudes. I'm gonna hit it.
Let's
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Time for work soon.
Have a good shift.
I'm gonna go time my pee.
Tired.
Good luck.
What?
For Noel's research.
Yeah. So I wrote 10, but then at work the people